Hello, everyone. Welcome back to Movie Night the Night, where we talk about movies. I'm your host, Tremain Hayhoe. If you don't know who I am, get to know who I am. I'm a filmmaker, writer, director, producer, janitor. I do everything, baby. And tonight, we are going to talk about the best and worst movies of 2025. And we have a very special guest host, a film aficionado, fellow film aficionado, himself, a man by the name of Uncanny, and he goes by the name of Canny on YouTube, and he's Uncanny himself. He's a very funny guy. Uncanny, welcome, Uncanny. How are you?
Woo! Doing good.
Woo!
I'm honored to be your guest and to talk about the good stuff and the bad, and maybe talk some shit, and we can go from there.
Absolutely, absolutely. So, but first, let's roll the intro. Wow. Just wow. Welcome, guys.
Beautiful.
Welcome. Beautiful. Just amazing. So tonight we're going to talk about the best and worst of 2025. We both have a list, tentative list, of the best movies that we saw 2025. It doesn't necessarily have to come out in 2025 because we make our own rules around here, guys. Okay? What you guys got to understand, if you watch the movie in 2025 and it sticks out to you and you want to talk about it, we can talk about a movie. We can do whatever the heck we want tonight. Okay, so we have Uncanny here. So Uncanny, you watched a certain movie today. I watched a certain movie today. Let me ask you this: is that movie that you saw today did it make a best or a worst list, or is it just not even good enough to make any list?
All right. So the movie in question was Lilo and Stitch, the live action, right? That's what we're talking about.
That's the first one. Yeah.
So, all right. I in terms of movies go, it's fairly mediocre. I don't actually think it makes on the best or the worst. But in terms of my personal frustration, because I love the original Lilo and Stitch so much, it is in my definitely in my top. All right. I have to start to say this for the audience and for you. I have only watched 4 movies this year that came out in 2025.
No. Okay, you're specify in theaters. Came out in theaters, right?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay.
So I've watched a bunch of movies this year, but there's quite a few from 2024 that I didn't quite catch last year, and then I watched this year. So I don't know. To me, it's kind of like their 2025 movies because I didn't see them before. But I will say this: Lilo and Stitch. I think it's kind of weird, right? Is like whenever they take even like one of the best movies ever and they put in live action, it just does something to it, and it makes it just not as fun.
Well,
it kind of loses the soul.
And with Disney, we use the term live action very loosely, very loosely.
Yes.
And actually, this is one of the most live action movies of the Disney movie live action, where we have Lion King, which is 100% CGI, which is still computer generated content.
Wait, they didn't use real lions?
I know. Can you believe it? They should have used a real freaking lion for the Lion King. Why didn't they teach him how to talk and how to walk and how to dance? But I hate how they say that live action. And it's okay. So Lilo and Stitch, yes, they have live action, but it's animation. I mean, the first. It's computer animation. Obviously, you can't have what are you going to do? Have a mascot Stitch like running around? That would be really tacky. It's tough with that. But I was pleasantly surprised by Lilo and Stitch, only because I had rock bottom. But hear me out on this. We'll get to my full opinion first.
All right.
The first 30 minutes of this movie, I'm like, oh, this is awesome. I'm on board with this movie. This is great. This is fun. You get the setup, you get the world building, you get Lilo is out there and she's, messing up in her own world. You got Hawaii, you got Stitch and how they do it. It was great, but then something happened at about the 30-minute mark. And it might have started with an advertisement where it's like, I'm paying $25. I think I'm paying $25 for Disney Plus, something like that. And I still get advertisements. So I get an advertisement. What do? I go on the phone, I leave, I get up, I do something else. And then like the middle of the movie happened and I just became bored and disinterested. It's like, okay, so Stitch comes to Earth, he wreaks havoc. And it's like, okay, he wreaks havoc for like 20, 30 minutes. And it's like, okay, I get the point. I get he's wreaking havoc. And the movie was also close to 2 hours long, hour and 50 minutes, which is
it was a long slog.
Right. So anyway, enough about my opinion though. But with you, yeah, let's talk. Okay, I guess. Well, again, we could do whatever we want. I guess we'll start into some of the worst movies of 2025. And again, like what you said, it's not that it's so bad, it's that bad, but a lot of the movies that I saw, there's a lot of bad movies in 2025. There's just objectively a lot of bad movies in 2025. I'm gonna pull up my list of 100 the theatrical releases, and for references. And there's a lot of bad ones. There's a lot of overrated ones too, right? So we're just getting to the tip of the iceberg. But Lilo and Stitch, I guess, since we're talking about it right now, what were your thoughts on it?
All right, so in my kind of viewpoint, I think that if I'm being generous, which I try to be generally speaking, right, it is about as good as you're probably gonna get it churning a animated classic Disney movie into a supposed to be somewhat realistic adventure, right?
Right.
I do miss the part where Lilo bites the crap out of the redheaded girl. I feel like they really missed some opportunity for a nice kid on kid fight action. But that's okay. We can let it slide. I think it was pretty good. The problem for me is like, okay, so the part where Jumba and Pleakley are like trying to capture him, right? Is
Yes.
in the original, the two of them are kind of like almost playing with Stitch, right? Like he can't get off the island and they know it, and they're basically just waiting for him to get so bored of just basically babysitting that he goes, "Yeah, okay, just take me away. 'Cause maybe at least at some point I can break free of the interstellar prison and go destroy some planet." But in this one, they more like just seem like they're kind of doing really lame slapstick.
Yeah. So that's about that 30-minute mark where they show up, and then I did a double take. I'm like, is that Zach Galifianakis? That's no, it's not Zach. Is that Zach?
No, it's not. It's
it is. It is Zach Galifianakis.
It is.
It is. It's Zach Galifianakis, but it doesn't look like Zach It looks. There's something different about him where it's like they're trying to make him look like Zach Galifianakis from the Hangover movies, but he's lost a lot of weight, so it doesn't really look like Zach Galifianakis. So it's an odd thing. It is. I had to look it up.
That's weird.
And I thought he was good, but the other guy was like, there was no point in this other guy being there, and I liked the one-eyed character when he was a computer animated thing, alien, and then he becomes a human, and then I completely forgot that was that same guy, and he was just kind of a generic, bland. Oh yeah, now they're doing slapstick. Oh, how do I be human?
He's frozen. I have to drag him around.
Yeah. Check in. Oh no, I don't want to stay in a room with you. I want to stay in my own room.
Hey, I have a question for you because you're like, legit. I'm just some schmuck that watches movies and YouTube videos about movies, right? But like, you are legit in the film industry, so I there's a little bit of lore here, right? So they took out the shark guy, Captain Gantu from the original.
Oh gosh, I forgot completely about that. Even
yes, and they turned Zach Galifianakis into the main villain, which didn't work because he was kind of an idiot, right? So you're like, well, I'm not afraid of this guy. But so they took out the shark. They took out Captain Gantu, and I was reading up on why, right? And they said the I think it was the director for it basically said, well, we're trying to be more realistic, and that's why we made both the aliens turn into human form, and that's why we got rid of the giant shark man. And on first reading, I'm like, that's kind of realistic, but the cynical part of my brain is thinking, how much money did the CGI aliens cost? And they just want to find a way to cheap out from actually doing that the whole movie, and that's why they got rid of all the actual aliens.
You're right. I think it was kind of funny when they come down to Earth and then they're wearing the disguises and they got the
Trying to learn how
mask
to walk and
on.
stuff.
Yeah, and they got the mask and the sunglasses on, the hat, but there's still the computer animated aliens, but they're wearing human clothes, which I think is really
Yeah.
funny. But then it's like, oh yeah, by the way, let's just turn into a human. Let's touch the human, and now we're a human. I guess there's no rules. You know what I mean? There's no rules of that. But it detracted from that story, and then I felt like the first 30 minutes I thought were fantastic. I thought it set up everything really well. It was great world building. And I must
Yeah.
say, when I saw the trailer to Lilo and Stitch, I'm like, Lilo, and sorry to dog on a child actor. I thought she was horrible in the trailer. I thought she was terrible. I'm like, you got some student film child actor to be in this movie. But then watching it, I got to give her some credit. Watching the actual movie, she was good. She was passable. She's actually from Hawaii. I thought she did a good job because Lilo is a bit of a cut up, right? And then Stitch is a bit of a cut up, and then they find each other. Da, da, da. Older sister, I thought was great. She's she's cute. She's like the mid-20s, something. Older sister trying to be a mom. They lost their parents. You feel for them a bit. You feel for them a lot, and they've got the social worker coming over, and she's trying to make it seem like it's a lot better than it really is. And for a kids movie, keep in mind we're talking about a kids movie right here. It worked. But again, when he came into there, and then you got the two bumbling idiots, and then all of a sudden the movie, I when I was texting you, I paused it, and it was almost 2 hours long. I'm like, a Lilo and Stitch live action or not live action does not need to be 2 hours long. A minute,
No.
an hour, yeah, it does not. I thought it was gonna end, and then there was another 20 minutes, and it's like, oh, Lilo's gonna, Stitch. Spoiler alert, guys! It's a kids movie. Stitch doesn't die, but he almost dies. But you think he's gonna die, but he doesn't die, and he's not gonna die. But they really milked it. Him dying. I'm like, they're really milking this scene, trying to make people think that he's dead. But then there's like 20 more minutes of the movie. It's like, oh no, you have to go to college. Oh, Hannah is.
So that's the thing.
It's like, what?
So that's most of the stuff in the movie, the things are kind of different, right? Is like, I feel like they kind of sideline Cobra Bubbles a bit because like the humor of that, right, is like that he was a social worker, and like the whole thing is like this guy looks like he is like a hit force, like a hit squad enforcer, but he's like a social worker, right? Like in the original movie, there's like the whole Lilo asks him, "Have you ever killed anybody?" And then he just pauses. We're getting away from the point, right? So you're like,
sorry.
so like I can move past all that stuff, right? Because it is an adaptation. They're trying to. That's like the sticky thing with a lot of these remakes is like you're trying to remake a movie that was basically about as close to perfect for what it was that you could get, and then you're trying to make it your own, which means you're gonna have to change something.
Well, but you just kind of open up a can of worms because Aladdin, I think, is a perfect film, a Disney movie, like the classic animation. Lion King, the classic animation, is a perfect film. Those two. The Lion King is the reason why I make movies, because I watched that movie and I cried during a certain part. We won't spoil Lion King because I have too much respect for Lion King, even though I just spoiled Lilo and Stitch. But during a certain part of the movie, I cried. And then as a 7-year-old child, I'm thinking at the end, like, why did I just cry at a cartoon? So the whole idea of storytelling really fascinated me.
Oh
And
yeah.
they worked really hard on that movie and to make it really good. And yes, people say they might have ripped off Kimba. And have you gone down that rabbit hole? The Kimba Japanese.
Yeah, I mean, it's fine. Like that's the thing is like you're always going to have inspiration from other stories to your stories, right? But like I don't know, would you like Kimba's like the obscure pre-Lion King, so I'm not going to really count that. Lion King was a thing, man. It was the distilled Hamlet with like quirkiness and lions.
Totally, exactly. And the thing is, they still have the over the top, phrases and sayings, and their, Scar is really intimidating. But in the live action movie, which is computer animated, not live action, Scar is just like this weak, skinny lion.
Hey, it
Oh,
looks like he's half dead.
exactly. He looks like he's about it on his deathbed, but his Scar, Scar is like, be prepared. He's like really going after it. And I remember when the Aladdin movie, when they water down a lot of scenes where they have those characters yelling at Aladdin or Jafar, for example. You got Jafar. He's like, be prepared for your reward, your eternal reward. He's like this maniacal, crazy guy. Like this is terrifying. And then in the live action, they're like, be prepared for your reward, your eternal reward.
Yeah, it's well. Part of
Like,
this is like it's for some of these movies, especially like like Lion King with oh I forgot his name, the guy who played Darth Vader, right?
oh, oh, oh,
Like
why am I blanking on his name now?
I know in the
Yeah,
Sandlot. Oh,
yeah, they
yeah, you know what I'm
changed
talking about.
it. Yeah, of course. Yeah.
Well, and it's like and like Robin Williams, right? Like you had some of these really famous actors that got into these movies that you just can't. There's no one alive today that I think can match their charisma. But aside from that, there's just something about the medium difference, right? Like it's kind of like taking a book and trying to make a movie from it is really hard to do well. And it's just with cartoons, you
James
can be
Earl
like,
Jones.
"Thank you, James Earl Jones." Exactly.
The Tom Baker in the building. What's up? You were telling me to live stream more, and here we are. Here I am live streaming more. That's the goal for 2026. Oh, okay. I think we got we got Uncanny back. Let me see if Uncanny's here. Remote guest. Where did Uncanny go? Uncanny, where art thou? Okay, so Trevor can hear me. Uncanny. Oh, yeah. Okay. Uncanny, are you here? Let in. There we go. Let everyone in. There's two Uncannies in the lobby. Hello.
Hey, what's up?
Okay. Hey, sorry about that. I don't know what happened to you, but I had to refresh the page. This is what happened. I blame Trevor's confession because he made me laugh. We're saying James Earl Jones. It's all Trevor's fault. Sorry. I'm just kidding. But I kicked the cord, unplugged, and then I plugged it back in, and you can't change the recording while it's recording, so I had to refresh. Anyway, we're back now. We're back.
There we go. I was going to say you just got too jazzed up.
Yeah, exactly. I just got too jazzed up because we get jazzed up at movie night, the night where we talk about movies. I'm your host, Tremain Hayhoe, and we've got Uncanny here in the building as a guest. Is he going to be a regular guest? Is he going to be a random guest? Who knows? But we're happy to have him here right now. And
you'll be kicking me out in about 10 minutes, I'm sure, once I make my really incendiary comments.
Oh, I can't wait. I can't wait for that. That's going to be great. The thing is, what's so crazy is that I told you about, I had a review. I put a YouTube short about Nosferatu and how it's completely overrated, crappy movie because Nosferatu, in the original, he's really scary. He's got this jagged teeth. He looks like this. He's terrifying. But in the new one, he looks like Borat. And he does. He looks like Borat. I kid you not. He's got this huge nose. He's got a big Borat mustache. And he's like, it's a me, Nosferatu. Oh no! Like so,
That was a pretty good Wario impersonation too.
It was like Wario. I literally said that. It's like Wario. And so my friend Chris and we watched that together. We were cracking up because every time, and it's like she's having these weird fantasy dreams. Okay, let's just put it that way. And then she's like, oh, and then they cut to Nosferatu being like, it's me, Nosferatu. It's like, what? It's like we were laughing, dude. Half the audience was laughing, and so I had a YouTube short talking about that, and he got I ticked off at least 3,000 people. That so many people that commented on it, and my movies all of a sudden got review bombed. So Simp was at like a 6 point something. Now it's like at a 3.9. And I'm like, dude, what the hell happened? Are people really hate? Does this movie suck that bad? And you go on IMDb and it's like a 3.9, and people say, oh, this movie sucks. It's horrible. You need to watch a good movie like Nosferatu. like they literally say that.
Trolling you.
Yeah, they're trolling me. So, but that has real effects. Like, oh my gosh, heaven forbid you have an opinion on a movie. It's a movie, you guys. Like, golly, people take so much offense to an opinion on a movie. Just have an opinion on a movie. Just have it.
Hey, man, that's pretty skilled to piss off 3,000 people in one fell swoop, I have to admit.
It's like a 30-second YouTube short, too. Because I literally said that all I said was we were in the theater and half the theater was laughing because Nosferatu is talking like this, and it's like, but it's funny. Is I triggered some people from it, but people are like, oh my god, Robert Eggers has made The Witch, and he made did he make The Lobster? No, he didn't make The Lobster. He made the other movie with Willem Dafoe and Robert Pattinson. When they're on the Lighthouse, he made The Lighthouse.
Oh yeah.
That's a great movie.
I was gonna ask if you liked The Lighthouse because I watched it once years ago, and my wife refuses to ever watch it with me again. Which, considering the scene with the mermaid, I'm not surprised. But
okay, well, yeah, that's fair. But I loved it. But it is one of those movies where you watch it kind of once and you don't really have to revisit it again.
I'm down to watch it after a couple years. The thing is, I like the Lovecraftian kind of horror aspect to it. Yes. And like part of me like loves how uncomfortable it is, because you're literally just like, there's just this dude. Like, I imagine being stuck on this rock, right? Because there's not a lot of music in the movie. It's just like black and white, and it's just like almost dead silence for most of it, except for when they're talking. And like, if you're just stuck on this rock with this annoying dude who won't shut up, and like you have like haven't seen any civilization in like a year, to the point where you're like, this piece of wood looks pretty attractive. That's the true horror. Okay.
Totally. Well, that whole movie when they're drinking, and then he's like, dude, Willem Dafoe, dude, I can watch that guy in anything he does. I just find him so entertaining, and he goes so off the wall, and his monologue in that, I'm like, oh my gosh, this is so
I'm
crazy.
Something of a William Dafoe fan myself.
Yes, exactly. Yeah. I'm something of a scientist myself. And I think he was like 38 years old, and he's like, looks like he's 55, So
oh yeah, it's beautiful.
It's amazing. Oh, we got Chris in the building. What up, Chris? Chris is an actor friend of mine, Chris Laird. What are your 2 thoughts on Sacramento, the other film that was filmed in the other film? Like, there's only only one or two.
I feel like my life is Sacramento the movie, and I don't know. I'm like 2 out of 5 stars. Let's go with that.
Oh wow. Okay. I'd give it 3.5 out of 5. It was a lot better than I thought it would be. It sucks because a lot of times if there's a movie about Sacramento, all they do is shit on Sacramento. Like, that's literally all they do. Like, if you take
that's our pastime is Sacramento.
Right, but it's like, you take the movie. What's the movie called? It's called Lady Turd. Oh, Lady Bird. Lady Turd. But people say, dude, I don't like the movie Lady Turd. I call it Lady Turd because it's a crappy movie. I'm sorry. All they do is they crap on Sacramento the whole time. And then Lady Turd, she's an unlikable character. And look, I can relate to all this. I went to private school in the early 2000s. Okay? She went to St. Francis. I went to Jesuit. She was 2 years older than me. The same time period, 2004, Sacramento, fall time. Okay, I relate to that. I relate to this. I related to 90% of this movie. But you have an unlikable character in Lady Turd, and at the end, she doesn't change at all. She moves out of Sacramento, she goes to New York, and that's the movie. It's like, okay. It's like I always relate it to Napoleon Dynamite. If Napoleon Dynamite was a completely unlikable character and you hate him, you know what I mean? Like
instead of the hidden autistic hero that we all love and adore.
Exactly, totally, 100%. Where you love Napoleon, you can quote Napoleon all day. But people, it is love-hate movie. A lot of people hate Napoleon Dynamite. Oh, the movie's pointless. It's a slice of life.
That's the whole point.
It's a slice of life movie. Yeah, they go to prom. You vote for Pedro. You have a great time.
You'll appreciate this. When I watched that when I was a kid, right? And I watched it with my dad, and he loved it. We used to quote it to each other all the time. But my dad, when we first watched, he's all, "What is with this? It's like everyone in this whole state is on downers."
It's like you know what, Napoleon, you're just jealous because I've been chatting with hot babes all day. It's like that's all he's doing. All he's doing is on the chat room. It's like a timeless movie too, because it comes out in 2005. It feels like it's 1985, but it's not. It's not. But it's still, it's like this timeless classic, and I think that's why it works so well. I mean, I revisit that movie several times.
Maybe that time machine of Uncle Rico's worked. Maybe they went back to the 1980s.
Yeah, maybe they did, right? And that's the thing. An Uncle Rico character. Oh man, if I could just go back in time, it's like,
my mom literally tells me, she'll tell me to sometimes, like when I was younger, she would tell me to put stuff back. We can't afford it. Mix and match.
Mix and match what?
The what's it called? The when they're going shopping and Napoleon comes up with like 20 pack of the markers, and he tells them just to mix and get the 10 pack, just mix and match.
There's a lot of stuff like that where you have those relatable items, or it's like you ask the aunt. I had it's kind of funny. I had an aunt that had that same haircut, and she drove motorcycles. She drove dirt bikes. She's like a champion dirt biker, right? So she kind of reminded me of the aunt in Napoleon Dynamite. It's like I don't know, Napoleon. Why don't you make yourself a dang quesadilla?
That's right. My mom still says that.
It's hilarious. Yeah, but it's almost like you tell your kid, like, what am I gonna make? What am I gonna make, Mom? I was like, I don't know, make yourself a damn quesadilla. Like, I don't care. Like, be creative. Like, do something.
It's
right?
You know what it kind of reminds me of? It's kind of like it captures it's like a weird, almost kind of absurd version, but it kind of captures that middle of the road John Hughes kind of vibe, right? Like these are just like the regular people doing regular kind of obscure stuff with their life.
Yes, in Utah, right? It's a Utah, I believe, and it's a beautiful setting. So it's like a regular town in a kind of nowheresville, USA. Could be anywhere, and it's normal people. No one looks, it's like when you have movies, with Brad Pitt, Tom Cruise, all these superstars, or you have Jennifer Love Hewitt or these gorgeous models in it. I mean, probably the most, they still had Summer, right, who was Hillary Duff's sister, Haley Duff, she's fine. She is fine. But like everyone looks like a regular person, right? And
except for that blonde guy who like half the guys in that movie are supposed to be like seniors.
High school. Yeah, he's like 35 or something.
like they're in their like late 30s. You're like, dude, how many times have you been held back? 20?
I know. I love that guy. He's like, he's just like, I love that guy. Like, this guy's awesome. Yeah,
Hey, can I relate this kind of back to our topic about Lilo and Stitch?
Oh yeah, that's right. Yeah, that's right. We got to stay on topic here.
All right, so one of the reasons, and I do have a connection here. One of the reasons I love Napoleon Dynamite is that there isn't the same kind of West Coast cynicism, that like modern cynicism that you see, right? It's like people are being like, obviously they're acting, but like their characters seem very authentic, right? Um, and one of the issues that I did have with the sister in the live action Lilo and Stitch is she smelled of modern coastal Californian cynicism. And what
Oh,
I mean by that is you'll catch this in the movie because the whole thing of like the movie is Ohana, right? It's like this family is like broken, right? They are orphans. They only have each other. Stitch is a created monster. He doesn't have any memories or family. And then they basically forge a family together through shared experience and like loving each other and you know fighting for each other. And there's a line when in the live action when Nani says it's Lilo brings up Ohana and she said I might be butchering a little bit, but basically Ohana isn't realistic. And like when she said that, I was like a little taken aback, man. Like that was pretty harsh. And then she never really kind of redeems that. And I think the ultimate difference is in the original they end up like rebuilding their house and they basically create a bigger family with like the two aliens. In the movie, she goes away to like across the Pacific Ocean to go to college in San Diego, and they kind of do this thing of, and this is my theory. So this is my little my conspiracy brain, right? Why they make such a big deal out of the portal ray, portal gun? And it's I think it's they worked that in backwards because they needed this thing of like, well, we want her to go off and idealize herself by going to
right.
California
Like,
for
it's
university
like okay, it's like there aren't any marine biology courses in
in
Hawaii.
Hawaii.
Like in Hawaii, there isn't a single university in Hawaii. Like that's almost an insult to all the Hawaiians there, because I guarantee you there is.
Yes.
I haven't looked that up, but I guarantee you there's a huge course in marine. Like you're in Hawaii, like city,
Some
like
of the most
see
biodiversity right in the world in terms of like fish and different aqua species and no it's true and like then they like well how do we have her go and fulfill her dreams but also not seem like she's abandoning her orphan sister and they're like oh I got it what if we come up with a portal gun so we don't make her seem terrible.
Right, yeah, use the portal gun and then also hide with the family that already knows all the secrets. So
They
it's
brought the
she's
portal gun.
they know, yeah, they know about it. So why is she still secretive over that? It's like if you can't you're trying to have it both ways where they could have said, "Hey, she has a portal gun here and she's going to use the portal gun. She'll go to school and then she'll come back and she'll still be with us. She'll just go to class with the portal gun, like because it's such a great
Yeah.
school that has to be in San Diego and not in Hawaii where you already are, right?
Because she needs to get the full experience of living in the dorm so she can be self-actualized.
Well, there's stuff like that where she goes, the Lilo goes, sister, why do you have pictures of boys on your thing? Oh, what is going on? You know, it's like, and then there's like, you know what I mean? Like then there's pictures of her and the neighbor, David is his name, I think. I just watched it,
Yeah.
but like they're kissing, and so like now they're going out. But like that character was like the dumbest doofus character ever.
Oh,
He's like, oh,
they
what?
completely
Oh,
ruined it. Like,
yeah, it's like, oh, fancy seeing you here. Fancy seeing you here. And she's like, I'm your neighbor. And it's like,
well,
oh,
like,
it's funny. He's awkward and he can't talk, you know.
I don't know. It's kind of like, you know,
Is that what they
spoilers.
did? I can't forget. I forget the cartoon. Did they do the same in the cartoon or what?
No. It was so like the whole. So like, here's the thing, and this is kind of like once again kind of relates to Napoleon Dynamite a little bit. In like the original, they were all just kind of people. Like Lilo was really kooky, but they were just like normal people living on probably the island of Kauai because that's the most rural island, is my guess, right?
Mm-hmm.
Um, and so David was like kind of an airhead, but he wasn't like a complete like I have an IQ of 60. right?
Right. Yeah. We won't say that word, but yeah, we know what you're talking. Yeah, we won't say.
Right.
Yeah.
Yes, we won't say
Yeah.
gamer words here,
Yeah.
but
Yeah.
like, but the problem was is that they made him dumber, and they made Nani like, you're a super genius. It should be in like the number one college, major for
Well, they
biodiversity. And
kept
you're like,
saying you have a Hano or whatever the name for brains is. You have a Hano brain. It's like, okay, they kept saying that, but she didn't really show it. You know what I mean? Like
no,
we're not. Oh, we're so impressed by her marine biology skills that she works at the bar and she's late for showing up to
yeah,
her.
it's just kind of like it's just kind of boring and overplayed. And I think that I'm hoping that kind of the big studios are gonna come around to realizing this, but like, like people don't necessarily need to like. Not everyone's gonna be Nick Cage, right? Like Nick Cage in every movie is like, I was a super secret Green Beret mega genius, and I went and did this special spy stuff for 20 years so that I can learn how to steal super guns and the Constitution. You're like, that works because Nick Cage is kind of so over the top that you don't really take him that serious for the most part,
Yeah,
right?
but at the same time, you take him very serious because he's the greatest actor of all time. Of all time, dude. He's so like I rewatched. I was watching. You ever watch James the Nintendo Nerd, where he talks? They've got the rental reviews, and they were talking about Ghost Rider versus
Ghost Rider.
Vampire's Kiss. They're watching Ghost Rider versus Vampire. Have you seen Vampire's Kiss?
Vampire's Kiss is the what was that, late 80s, where he believes that he's a vampire, but he's not actually a vampire, right?
Correct.
Is that the
Yes.
one? Okay.
Have you seen it?
It's
You
been a
have not
long
seen it.
time.
Okay, no, you haven't seen it. Okay, you haven't seen it. So no, you would know if you saw it. It's like
Okay.
the room. It's like if the room. I'm trying to think. It's like if the room and it's like two. It's like if the room and Neil Breen and a little mix of Twilight, but like some really good movies in there mixed in, like had a baby. That's that movie where
That sounds cursed.
he goes through the whole alphabet in one scene where with his psychiatrist. He's like, I did everything. Hey, B, C, D. He does the whole alphabet, and you have to watch it. It is like one of those things where you can't really explain. You can watch clips like The Room. You go, oh hi Johnny. You can watch clips of it, but the watching the whole thing is an experience, and we might have to do a watching session of that because it is.
Okay.
It's very punk rock of what he eats a live cockroach in it, and he
That
did it
was
3 times.
young Nick Cage, right? Like he was pretty early on in his career in that point.
Yeah, so The Room, it's so bad it's good. So it's not bad, it's actually really good. It's highly entertaining, to answer your question, to Tom Baker. And real quick, your question with Chris Laird. I have not seen Zootopia 2. I really liked. All I will say is I think Zootopia 1 is a perfect movie. I think it's perfect. I can't.
Zootopia 1's pretty good. It's hard to find much fault with it. It's got the humor, it's got the interesting plot. The animation's really good too.
Animation's great. Yeah, you got all the animal characters. The DMV scene's hilarious. It's a sloth working at the DMV. I mean, that's funny stuff. I like that. And when she, like, the main character, and I think it's only 90 minutes. Let me check the runtime on Zootopia 1.
I think it's closer to like 2 hours. It does get a little
Really?
bit longer because I think so, because they do the M. Night Shyamalan style twist at the end, which takes a little bit more time.
Oh, that's right.
But it
Okay.
was legit. But it was legit
1 hour
good though.
48. 1 hour 48
Yeah.
minutes. Okay. But yeah, but still, I mean, it didn't feel like 2 hours. Lilo and Stitch, when I was at the 80-minute mark, I'm like, okay, this is about enough. You know what I mean? Like, this is enough.
Yes.
You could have just ended there. Yeah, dude. I'll definitely check out. I'll check out the Zootopia 2 when it comes streaming. I have Disney Plus. You guys know it, but but Yeah. Okay. So let's go back to it was again. I think it's similar. It's not so bad of a movie, Lilo and Stitch. I guess our final thoughts on it because we don't want this whole thing to be about Lilo and
And
Stitch,
Leland. Now, I
which it
want to
could
talk
be.
about Bugonia or whatever it is.
Oh yeah, okay,
I
okay. So
want to talk about that too.
let's go to some of the best movies of the year. So again, it is that kind of middle range where I can't just say, oh, Lilo and Stitch is one of the worst movies I've ever seen this year. There's a lot of really bad movies. I would rather watch Lilo and Stitch 10 more times than one battle after another once more time. So that's another story. But we yeah, one of my favorite movies of all of this past year was Begonia. You just saw it today. I want to hear your fresh thoughts on it. What are your
All
fresh
right,
thoughts?
I'm gonna throw out spoiler alert warning because there's no way to like really talk about the movie without the ending.
Well, I was gonna kind of say, let's talk, let's dance around it for a
Okay,
little bit
all right.
because I feel like
I
have you guys seen Begonia in the comments? Because I don't want to spoil it for people that might see it because
true, it's
it's worth
good,
watching.
and you need
Yeah,
to watch the whole thing.
you need to watch the whole thing. Yeah, yeah. But I get what you're saying. We'll get to that part. We'll get to that ending part.
It was good. So like, all right. So for the context of everyone watching, I can't see who's in the chat, but it. So you sold this to me as a almost dark comedy, and I'm watching this movie, and I'm like, bro, this is not comedic at all. This goes from like kind of absurd to really dark real quick, and I'm like struggling to find the comedy. I'm trying to guess at what point is Tremain laughing? Like that's what I'm trying to wonder. And then obviously I won't give away any details, but at the end is when I understood what you meant. But it was really good. There wasn't a bunch of unnecessary dialogue, which I think is a real issue with a lot of movies, like modern movies. Um,
Yes.
lines were delivered great. Like
Which, by the
they
way,
did not break.
we will get to Stranger Things later because which I heard there's a lot of unnecessary dialogue in the new Stranger
There's
Things.
a lot of
That's what
unnecessary things in all of Stranger Things, if I'm being
okay.
honest. But
Okay. 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 But yeah. Okay. So, but
but
yeah.
yeah, great lines. The actors did really good. I they all played it like straight. Like they didn't do the Marvel thing of where it's very serious and then they crack a bunch of like fourth wall breaking jokes and like they you could it was really interesting was like it did have like that okay, like these guys must be crazy, right? But then like there's a point and I won't say when it is, but like about halfway ish through the movie where they he does the test on her and I was like, "Oh, like are they crazy or it's like this like it really did and I got to say like I don't think that there's really been like that's like almost it's not the same, right? But it's almost Shutter Island levels of like getting me. Like I don't actually know what is true here.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. When so for those that don't know, it's two conspiracy theorists kidnap this big mega CEO and Madison Seuss because they think she's an alien and they're talking to but this is the comedy because they're like, oh yeah, she's an alien from XYZ ABC. And I'm laughing at this because this is hilarious. Like these guys are nuts. You know what I mean? Like this is just that one looking at that one guy's face. No, I don't know. Okay. When
I know.
you know what I mean? Like that guy was funny where he's just like, okay. He was just kind of going along with the lead actors,
Well,
is like,
yeah. No, it's and he does great. And like the other thing too is and like I said, I think part of like a reason that I like this is that it's not dripping in cynicism, right? So like there isn't like sarcasm. There isn't like everyone's taking their role in this movie very seriously. And um like the main guy, like the guy in charge, right? The redheaded guy, he's not
yes,
like he's not abusive to his cousin who's slow, right? Like he's probably
yeah,
has some sort of handicap. He's
yeah.
not he's not treating him like a stooge or like badly. He legit is like seems like he cares about him. He's just seems insane.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. And well, and yeah, the way I kind of took it is with the cousin is like the cousin kind of just doesn't have anything better to do, and then
Yeah.
the lead guy isn't leading anyone else except for his cousin. So he's like, he's feeding him all this stuff that he's learning, but you're something about him is like this guy might be legit. Maybe I
Yes.
don't know. He doesn't,
Well,
Right.
well, there's that conversation, and this is what I mean by it kept throwing me because like they have that whole conversation when she's like when Emma Stone is like, I'm not an alien, right? And which is a reasonable response. And like they go back and forth, and she's like, you're just confused, like, because she treats him like he's a crazy idiot, right? But then he starts responding with like actual, like, I know you're gonna say it's just this, that, and this, and you read that in the Washington Post, and you listen to this on like this, and like there's this study and that study, and yada yada yada. I know you're trying to basically like break me down by using this tired stereotypes. And when he said that, I was like, well, this dude is definitely like a country bumpkin kind of guy, but like he's not an idiot. He may be crazy, but he's not an idiot at the very least.
Right, and well, and that's why it's so funny. It's something like she'll say something like, "Well, I'm not an alien," and then it's like, "Well, that's something an alien would say that he's trying to trick you." And so in more or less terms, he literally says stuff like
Okay,
that.
so one of the things that's really annoying is like because having grown up in like a semi-rural kind of environment, right, and like coming from like the working class, right, is a lot of Hollywood, like a lot of Hollywood movies are very um what's the phrase? They're very condescending, right? It's kind of like, oh, the poor stupid country people, right? Or like,
Oh yeah,
oh,
the country.
the
Oh yeah, the
poor
country.
poor.
Yeah, the country bumpkins, the rednecks, the
Yeah.
hicks. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
And you're like listening to this, right? And you're like, okay, well, these guys think she's an alien, but then they're like going through all this, like, and it's not even really too heavy, except for a little bit with the cop that visits them later, right? But like, you kind of get this picture of like these guys, like his mom was like a drug addict who basically paid to be experimented on medically or got paid to. Like he lives in like the poor rural kind of house. Like him and his cousin are the only family they have. Like there's I won't go into the details, but there's some nasty business that this cop did to him as a kid.
You're
Like
right.
you're
Yeah.
like this. You're like this guy seems like he has just been dealt a terrible hand by like a shifting, like a changing society, and basically has been like the only way he can make sense of it is it's not that everything sucks and is terrible, it's that there's aliens controlling everything.
Right, right,
Right.
yeah, yeah, exactly. So that's why you're just like, oh, okay, you almost
Like it's
had me.
sad, and then I kept asking myself, when is Tremaine laughing?
Right, yeah, yeah. Well, the answer is throughout, because I mean, just kind of looking at certain, just that the cousin's face, just looking at the guy's face, and just the way he talks, like, okay, I think I'm going to do that. I'm just like laughing because it's kind of like two silly idiots that maybe aren't idiots, but they are,
Oh, one of
um
them definitely is.
yeah, one of them
I do like
definitely.
the
By the
part.
way, you get a little criticism here. So poor you don't have a camera. Oh, poor,
Oh.
he's uncanny. That's why he's uncanny. He doesn't need a camera.
Exactly. Hey, I'm still saving up. Maybe someday I can get a 1990s style personal cam.
There you go.
Um,
There you go.
yeah, no, it's interesting. I do. All right, this is gonna sound like harsh, but like there's that part right when he's gonna give him the injection,
Yes.
and then he's like his cousin. Oh, this is gonna sound terrible. His cousin was like, well, maybe I don't want to be like forced to be, what's it called, infertile, because maybe I'd like to get with someone someday. And his cousin was like, he didn't say this, but he basically said, listen, buddy, that ain't gonna happen, and you need to be ready for the mission.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. He's like, that's not gonna happen, buddy. So, you got nothing,
We
you
have
got nothing else.
aliens to defeat, and also let's be realistic.
Yeah, you got nothing else going on in your life, so yeah. What's really interesting though, it's so Yorgos Lanthimos is so he came out with that movie. I think did we talk about this Poor Things, which it won all these awards. I never saw it. I didn't want to watch it, but did you see Poor Things?
I did not. I think you might have been telling me about this another time.
Oh, okay. Someone else was telling me about Poor Things, but by the way, Kings only down by 1, 62. Well, yeah, at halftime, great. Kings have a great first half, and then they're horrible second half.
That's their
yeah.
specialty. They they build everyone up, and then they break their hearts.
That's exactly what the Kings do. So, okay, but anyway, so he made The Lobster. Okay, so there's a couple movies that he made before, the same director as Bugonia. The Lobster. Have you seen that one?
I haven't.
It's a good one. It's with the Irish actor Chris. Shoot.
Are you talking about the guy who was in
Colin Farrell? Colin Farrell.
Oh, Colin Farrell. Okay.
Colin Farrell. That's an interesting movie where it's like people live, because a lobster could live for like 200 years, something crazy like that. So there's this home where people become. It's kind of hard to describe. You know what? Let me just read this. In a dystopian near future, according to the laws of the city, single people are taken to the hotel where they are obliged to find a romantic partner in 45 days, or they're transformed into beasts and sent off into the woods.
That's a little harsh.
Yeah. So it's a crazy concept, but that's the thing. It's like this guy Yorgos. It's unique. You know what I mean? It's Bugonia. I see a lot of similarities between Bugonia and my movie Simp, where there is a kidnapping scene. They kidnap, a luminary in Simp. She's a social media model and everything, so she's big on social media. But in the movie Bugonia, she's the CEO, but she's like this powerful, rich CEO. But then it goes completely to left field, which is why I liked it though. And so I guess we can get into spoilers though. But real quick, what did you think of Emma Stone's character? What were your thoughts on her and how she looked? Because she's bald in the movie and she shaves her head.
I love so this isn't really a spoiler because I say this I think in the first 10 minutes, but I love the fact that part of their lore of the aliens is that they communicate through their hair. So they shave her head. So it's kind of like the equivalent of quick, throw out those AirPods or their cell phones so that they can't communicate with anyone. But it's like, hey, quick, shave off her head or her hair.
Yeah. Oh yeah. That's it's so bizarre. And you're like, okay,
this is weird, right? You're just I've never heard that. I've watched some Ancient Aliens in my time. My dad was really into it. I've never heard of the hair communication aliens. That was new to me.
You're right. Yeah. So it's unique and it's funny in that regard. And I do have to give Emma Stone some credit for it because
she did great.
She did really well. And the thing is, I was telling you earlier, I'm probably one of her biggest critics. I think she was the worst part of Superbad. Even though Superbad's a hilarious movie, I thought she was okay.
Good. I think she did pretty decent. And what was the one where it was the one where she would? No, she was kind of annoying in Zombieland because I think she was trying to. It was the Easy A. That was it with the Scarlet Letter. I think she did pretty good in that movie.
Right, but that movie was still, it's too much of her. I don't know. It's there's too much of her. She seems. I'm not that big of a fan of her, but to be honest, though, she was perfectly cast for this role, and she played that. She played that CEO, liberal, kind of know-it-all role really well, right? And then when we get to the spoiler alert, so guys, if you guys haven't seen it, this will spoil the movie. So, I definitely recommend checking out Bugonia. But come back in about 5-10 minutes if you don't want to get spoiled. See you by 8:20. We should stop talking about the spoiler. How about that? Okay. So
I'll time us.
Okay, good. Yeah, I'm looking at the clock too. So my whole thing was halfway through, I was almost thinking like, I hope she's actually an alien. Like,
Me
how,
too.
you know what I mean? Yeah, you're like, how crazy would it be if she actually is an alien? And the whole movie, I'm like, maybe she is. No, she's not.
It was the electricity scene because remember he starts freaking out and like if you're running voltage so high that it blows up your battery and your cables, that person would probably be dead, right? Maybe not in time, maybe not every time, but she probably would have been dead. And she was like 2 minutes later, she's like, "Yeah, I'm back to normal. I'm an alien."
Right? Yeah, yeah, and yeah, exactly.
But it
Yeah,
just
so
seems so dumb up to the very end. She's like, I have to input a 50 or was it 90 character code into my calculator. And then
right.
you're
Oh
gonna go in
yeah,
the closet.
I was waiting for her to type out eight. What is it? 8
Boobs.
zero for yeah boobs. Yeah, five.
80085.
800 8. Yeah, 800 885 boobs. Or sorry, yeah. And I was waiting for her to do that, and for that to be the thing, or turn it upside down, or whatever when you do, or you go boob list. Did you ever do that one? Boob. Okay,
You
yeah.
know,
Those old
classic middle school.
TI 82 jokes, guys. TI 82 jokes, everyone.
I
Yeah,
I really like. I actually, so like this was my take. It's like okay, because there's the scene right where it gets real dark. It's like he kills the cop who, like discovers him right because the gun hitting the brother like, he self deletes, and
oh right, yes.
which was
Thank
real
you for
dark.
saying that. By the way, and
Yes,
yeah, because
I
I want to still be
I don't
known.
want to get you dinged.
Thank
So
you.
like that happens, which is really dark and pretty sad, right? And then she discovers his like uh Silence of the Lambs style like hidden part of the basement. And you're like, okay, well, this has gone real like real dark and like real bloody real quick. But then like because like for me, at that point I just kind of assumed after he went in the closet and then like his electronics went off, so to speak,
Yeah.
and I was like, okay, so they're not aliens. And then she runs back to her office, and I'm like, wait a second. She goes in the closet, and then I'm like, okay, she is an alien. And in a way, it made me feel like a lot better about the whole. Like that's when I laughed because I was like, the world there, because it's not just that there's aliens and that she's an alien, but that
Right.
the Earth is flat.
Right. Yeah. That's right. That's right. I almost forgot about that.
And you're like, this guy was spot on the money. She literally was an alien. This is not like a crazy person tortures and or like deletes a person, right? This is like that 80s movie with those glasses. What was it they came or whatever it is?
Oh, they live. They live. Yeah.
They live.
They
And
live.
you're
Yeah.
like, because in that movie, you're like, well, this thing seems insane, but it's real. Like the aliens are real. And I don't know, it's like, I felt so bad for that character, like that, terrorist kidnapper guy. And
Right.
like, I almost made me feel a little heartwarmed and
The
like a little
cousin
bit, it was
or
kind
the
of like
lead or both
lighthearted.
of them. Both of them or the
Yeah,
cousin or
both
one.
of them.
Yeah. You feel for him. Yeah, I feel for the one guy that did what he did, and I didn't want him to do that. I mean,
No.
it's really sad, but he didn't have much going on for him. It was horrible, but to say, but the whole, my whole thing, the part where you get the lead guy, and he didn't do what he should have done, right? Like he leaves the closet, right? He goes in the closet, or he leaves early, and he gets killed, right? Isn't that what happens?
What happens is at least what the cop guy said was that, so he went into the closet, and then the cop said that what happened likely was that his body heat um basically kicked off the explosion, and then he said that happens a lot with these homemade explosives, right? So like I don't know, I kind of get the feeling that was a legit accident that was not intended, and that she was going to potentially bring him to the starship.
No, she was. She was going to do it. She was like legit actually doing it. She wasn't trying to get him killed or anything like that. I think she really meant for her, she's withholding her end of the bargain, which I was like,
Yeah.
this is crazy, this is,
It seems like she's just going manipulative, right? She's like,
yes.
I am an alien. I am the queen or the emperor. This is how you do this, this, and that. And you just have to do what I say. And I'm like, well, that's pretty smart of her. But she was being honest.
Well, right. But yeah, exactly. Yeah. Because when she says that, when she, because it's like, okay, now she's just saying whatever it takes just to for him to let her go. Right. And you're like, oh yeah, you're right. Actually, I've been an alien the whole time. Just let me go. I'll show you where to go. We'll go to my office. I'll send you this. And then you're like, oh no, she's saying this just to say it. But then no, she actually is, and she's legit. So it's that movie where it dares to go to that place where I'm like, I hope they go. Are they really gonna go? Are they gonna go that place? I hope they do. And they did it. And it was like, oh crap. They did it. It was legit. And I'm like, as far as uniqueness, originality, and a fun time at the movies, I think Bugonia is one of the top. It's not my top movie, but I think it might be number 2, maybe number 3 of 2025. I like
it's pretty good. One last thing to know that I thought was hilarious, I did think was really, really funny, is when she goes into the ship at the end, right?
Yes.
And all of the other aliens are wearing like hair suits. So you're like,
yeah.
So it just validates this thing of like, no, the guy was right. Not only do they communicate with hair is like center to their clothes, their communication. You're like, they're basically just hair aliens. I don't know.
Yes,
It's really funny.
Aliens. Yeah. It was hilarious. It was hilarious. How they did it. I mean, and that's why it is that fun movie. A great time at the movies. I saw it in theaters and I had a blast. Bugonia, I think, is a terrible title. First off, because it's too vague. It's too. No one knows what it is. The branding of this poster. I mean, we were showing the poster. I'll show the poster again, but it's like, the branding of the movie is horrible, I think, and which is why it didn't make a whole lot of money. But it had Yorgos Lanthimos, he has a track record for these crazy films like The Lobster and Poor Things. Even though I didn't see Poor Things, and I'm not going to, but and this poster is horrible. I mean, and she doesn't even get invoked with Honey the whole time. So for me, as a filmmaker, studio owner, Hayhoe Studios, baby, I would say change the title, change the poster, and it would make a lot more money. I personally think. I think this is a horrible poster, honestly. I mean, what do you think?
Yeah, the post, I took your word for it that it would be good, so I watched it, but she reminds me, who she reminds me of in this picture for the poster? She reminds me of
Powder.
Who?
Powder. Remember Powder? I never saw it, but Powder, it's like the pale guy who's bald. He looks like Jimmy Corrigan.
I was gonna say, did you ever?
I'll bring it up in a sec. I'll bring it up.
Okay.
Yeah.
Did you ever watch Doctor Strange back in the day?
You mean Doctor Strangelove?
No, not Strange? Doctor Strange was a great movie, but no, Doctor Strange with Cumberbatch.
Cumberbund.
Cumberbund.
Yeah. I'm just kidding.
So there's the Celtic witch lady that he learns the magic from. It reminded me of that. I'm like, I don't know, man. I don't want to watch a movie about this freakishly old Celtic witch lady. Hey, that's a striking likeness.
Right, it really is. And she's wearing white face. She's got the white powder on her face of 20. Sorry, it's kind of funny. She's got the actual Bugonia. She's wearing like pale, or they make her wear the cream or whatever.
Antihistamines.
Yes, antihistamines. Yeah, which it's hilarious though. I mean, it's funny where okay, there's two results from this movie. Either these guys are just crazy hillbilly rednecks, right? And too far gone, taking down too far of a rabbit hole, or they're legit and they turned up being legit, which was
Yeah.
hilarious. And
And
yeah, so Begonia. Oh
there
yeah,
is one more funny part. One more, sorry. I love how after they like kidnap her, right? They put on business suits
right,
and
that's right.
they're like acting they're like talking about how diplomatic they are. And like they're like, we, these two dudes who live in the middle of who knows where,
You're
USA,
right.
right?
Iowa, yeah,
We're
wherever
the
they were.
diplomats
Yeah.
for humanity, and we're gonna negotiate your retreat from Earth.
Right. Right. Yeah, yeah, exactly. Like it was hilarious. It is funny. I do say it is a dark comedy. It's like a sci-fi dark comedy. The best way to describe it in simplest terms. If you want to get more technical, it's like a drama through. I don't know. Like what would you say?
I would
Drama
say
thriller.
like a thriller kind of, because there is like a lot of that like um I mean it has like the twists and the turns, and there is like a lot of like the you know kind of thriller, yeah, I guess like thriller drama, right? Because there's like that she's trying to escape and she's abducted and there's all kinds of stuff going on. So
Yeah. Okay. All right. So, what would you score? What do you do? Do you do out of 5 out of 10? What would you score Begonia?
um I would say that if I out of like maybe movies in the last few years, I scored pretty high. It was pretty good, and it wasn't too preachy, and it had like I could believe these characters were characters, right, in their story. So I would probably give it like a 7 out of 10, maybe like a seven
Wow.
to 8 out of 10. It's pretty
Okay.
good.
Nice. Okay. That's pretty good. That's pretty good. Yeah. I'd score it a little bit higher. I'm going to give 4.5. I guess a 9 out of 10. I'm going to give it a 9 out of 10.
Oh,
Yeah, I think like especially when I think because when we look at this year as a whole, it's kind of been a crappy year for movies. I'm sorry. It's been a crappy year for movies. And I'm sorry, guys. I
mm.
apologize to the world. I did not come out with a movie in 2025. That's all my fault. The movie would be way better. The whole industry would be way better if I released a movie this year, but I didn't.
How did you break our
This year,
hearts?
I know, right? I know. I'm so sorry, you guys. I am so sorry. So I had to leave it up to the rest of the hoodlums to make movies. But okay, so let's talk about overrated movies real quick. I'm going to talk about the overrated movies, the movies that were hyped up so much, and then I watched them. This is what sucks is like I try to not get hyped up for a movie because if you get too hyped up, all it can do is just break your heart. And which we're getting into the worst territory again and overhyped as well. Mission Impossible: The Final Reckoning, one of the worst movies I've seen. It was horrible. And I thought it was going to be really good. I love every single Mission Impossible movie, including Mission Impossible 2, which gets crapped on at all times. But Mission Impossible Final Reckoning was so boring, so long, and pointless. Did you see Final Mission Impossible Final Reckoning, Jesse?
I didn't. I did not, but
Are you
I'm
a Mission
interested.
Impossible fan? Have you seen the Mission Impossible movies?
I haven't seen all of them, but I've seen quite a few of them. So like, yeah, I get the I like them. It's like a cool Tom Cruise adventure.
Right. It's like it's entertain. You know, it's going to be entertaining, right? It's like,
Yeah, there's going
y-
to be a bunch
y-
of stunts and shooting and spy stuff, and you know.
yeah, spy stuff, gadgets. There's going to be an impossible mission. He's going to solve it at the last second, and save the day. You know what's going to happen. But with this one, for some reason, they made it so boring. They made it long, and it's like, though, this is the whole movie, Jesse. This is the whole movie. They're like, well, Ethan Hunt, if you go into that place, you could die. And then Ethan's like, I know. That's the whole movie. For the first hour. They keep saying that, and they're like, well, because of the syndicate or whatever. There's an AI. The AI is the bad guy, right? So it literally looks like the AI chatbot looks like. Do you ever use Windows Media Player, CD player back in the day?
Yeah.
When you're playing it, there's like that circle thing which has a little bump, audio waves and stuff like that.
Yep.
It was like that. So they would cut to this, and so it's like this audio wave AI thing. I'm sorry, I can't do that, Dave. It's they try to do the whole 2001 thing. It was just very disappointing. Overrated movie and not a good one. Okay, another one real quick while we're here. Weapons. Have you seen the movie Weapons?
I haven't, but one note on the I'm just curious on the Mission Impossible. I'm kind of looking it up. It looks like I don't really recognize a lot of people from the cast except for Tom Cruise. Like,
Yeah, dude. In this one, they literally get rid of all the cast, man. Or like they have Sean. I almost said Sean Penn. Shaun of the Dead. Shaun of the Dead.
oh yeah, yeah,
Simon Pegg, who's a great right hand man. Normally you have a team. You've got the girl who goes in there too with the glasses, and then you've got Simon Pegg as the tech guy. You've got Ving Rhames. But you got in this movie, Ving Rhames is on his deathbed. So he can't do anything, and he dies. Sorry, spoiler alert. And I'm sorry, I don't feel bad spoiling this movie because it's really bad. And I saved you guys 3 hours. 3 hours. 3 hours. This movie's 3 hours. No Mission Impossible.
We need to get on that subject about movie length, by the way, a little bit later.
Yes, absolutely. And we will get into that, which, by the way, no movie, unless it's The Lord of the Rings, Return of the King, or extended edition, it does not need to be 3 hours. I'm sorry. 2.5 max if it's a great epic movie. 2.5. Harry Potter movies, 2.5 hours to, max. If you go to 3 hours, it's ridiculous. If you have a Disney movie that's 2 hours, that's too long. Okay, anyway. All right. We'll get into that later. And coming up, I'm looking at some other movies. Sinners. Okay, let's talk about Sinners, the vampire movie. People are like, oh my God, Sinners is such a good movie. Yeah. Have you seen Sinners?
No, my wife wanted to watch it, and then I looked at it, and I was like, nah, I'm okay.
Dude, look at it. Okay, look, I'm just going to share this real quick. So check this out. This is almost unheard of. And I guess I'm the only person in the freaking world that thinks this way. Sinners has a 97% positive rating, 96% popcorn meter. 97.
So close to a perfect movie is what it's rated by both.
Perfect movie. A perfect movie is Sinners. Like, this is Sinners. He's like, yo, I'm going after. He's like, yo, girl, I'm here in town. They're like, oh my God, the bad boy's in town, right? So he goes into town, and he's talking to the lead woman, and he's like, yo, girl, if you date me, I'll have to break you off. It's like this weird old school trying to talk dirty to this girl. And then like, she's like, oh my God, you're amazing. And he's like, I got a twin brother. And then they have this standoff. And then there's Irish vampires doing the river dance and singing. So the Irish guys are
my
bad
people.
guys. You're right, my people too. It's my people too. So like the Irish people come in, I'm like, oh, Irish people. Then all of a sudden they're like, and the lads and the lasses go down in the caskets, and it's like, what? Where did this come from? It becomes a musical. They start singing, and then these people are defending a barn party from vampires. That's what happens. It's like, dude, there was a better movie that came out a long time ago. It's called From Dusk Till Dawn. Even Quentin Tarantino, Robert Rodriguez, and it's a better movie. And you guys literally took that movie and made this, and everyone's like, "Oh my God, it's Michael B. Jordan. He's incredible."
Now, I was literally gonna say I think it's because Michael B. Jordan was the lead, because he's just there. Whether you agree with it or not, and I think that oftentimes, like you said about hype, right, is like the more that I see specific actors hyped up, the more I get suspicious, right? So like a big one is like if The Rock is in your movie, you're going to make money. The
Right.
Rock is not okay. I may get more hate than your Nosferatu here. The Rock is not actually that good of an actor. He's all right,
No. Yeah.
but he's
Right.
not like he should not get the money that he gets. But for some reason, he gets that hype, and he's a familiar face, and people be like, "Oh, The Rock's in a new movie. I'll just watch that."
Dude,
So
I've got the perfect meme to back up your point right here. And this is the meme is I think The Rock should play Dwayne Johnson. And and so so we had Johnny Depp, playing Willy Wonka, who's a very quirky character, and also Captain Jack Sparrow. And then he's like, "Oh, The Rock, you guys are different people." Like he's wearing
it's like the same
shirt.
movie.
It's the
See,
same movie.
he was just in the jungle for like a solid 5 years straight between like 5 different movies.
He really was, dude. He was in Walking Scared, or him and Sean William Scott. And he's wearing that same shirt. And he's in
He was in
Jumanji.
both of the Jumanji movies, both of the original or the not the original, the new ones. He was in the Riverboat one, the Disney movie.
Oh yeah, Jungle Cruise. I forgot about Jungle Cruise. Yeah,
Yeah.
He's wearing the same shirt. He's in the
He's
jungle.
the same guy every time.
Right, but it's like, look, okay, I understand. When you hire The Rock, you get The Rock. Spoiler alert: you get The Rock. You have a big stage presence. You've got a big muscly guy. But in terms of acting, the only thing I've seen him kind of try to act in was the Richard
The one where he
Donner.
was a babysitter.
No, no, the Tooth Fairy one. The Tooth Fairy, is that what he was? But
No, that was a different one.
Oh, see, exactly. Like they all blend together. It's the Donnie Darko director one. It's he plays this like quirky guy. He's like always going like this. He's like, oh yeah, I'm not sure about this. And so he's like he plays a nervous Nelly type guy.
What did you think about him in the Doom movie? The one with Amber from Lord of the Rings.
You know what? The BFG. I love the video game Doom. I'm gonna say, and this is unpopular, I had fun with Doom. I had fun with it, and it went in first person POV, and it was completely
that was
ridiculous.
great at the end when he injects the alien stuff, and he's
he's at the BFG, and he's just like it's killing everyone. I'm like, I am all for this. It's like, dude, something like Doom. If you're making a movie about Doom, is like, okay. I go in expecting, I'm not here expecting some art house crazy masterpiece.
It's gonna be a video game movie. Like
yes. Okay, Southland Tales. Southland. Have you heard of Southland Tales? Has anybody out there in the audience heard of Southland Tales? It has Buffy the Vampire Slayer, Sean William Scott, and Sean William Scott twice, I guess, and The Rock is in it, and Justin Timberlake is in it too, randomly. So here, let me share the screen with you.
Oh yeah, this looks pretty good.
So Southland Tales. So it's set in the future, and it's directed by the writer-director of Donnie Darko, Richard Kelly. Richard Kelly's fantastic director, but it's so out there. And then The Rock plays like this kind of bumbling star who's always going like this the whole time. And nobody saw it. It tanked, and it might have ended Richard Kelly's career, even though he made a movie called The Box later with Cameron Diaz, which I thought was really good. Have you seen that movie, The Box?
I haven't, but I'm looking at the cast for Southland Tales, and Amy Poehler was in it.
Yeah, dude, they've got a talented cast. I mean, Kevin Smith is in it. Sarah Michelle Gellar, Sean William Scott, Todd Berger, of course. Who doesn't love Todd Berger and Jarrett Giordano? No, I'm kidding. But Janine Garofalo. Yeah, it got a lot of mixed reviews. I mean, it's at a 5.3, which is still higher than 3.9, which is what my movie has, which is fine. You won't talk about that.
Well, that's because you ignited the ire of the vampire people.
Right? Yeah, exactly. The vampire people came out after me, and my movie suffers because of it. Actually, let's go to that real quick. I just want to show you this. But it's funny because IMDb reviews are so out of whack, dude. Because if you look at it, most of the reviews are positive. There's 8s, 9s, and 10s. But then oh, sorry, I lied to you, Jesse. It's not 3.9. It's 3.8.
Oh,
It's 3.8. I grossly exaggerated the rating for my own movie. So here we go. It's 3.8 right here. If you look at the chart, there's this many 1s, this many 2s, 3s, 4s. Hey, look at this. 8s, 9s, 10s, right? Like there's a ton of 9s. There's almost as many 8s as there are 1s, but all these 1s weighed it the heck down, dude. Someone says it's worse than Homemade PORN. Someone said BS. Every loser who could buy a camera thinks they're a filmmaker now. Absolutely the worst movie I've ever done.
If it makes you feel better, I guess according to our chat, I'm too poor to even afford a camera. So at least you're ahead of me.
Dude, but listen to this. Okay, this is the prime example here. Every loser who can buy a camera thinks they're a filmmaker now. One of the worst things I've ever seen ever, and I've seen a soldier get beheaded. This piece of garbage was absolutely the most horrendous, disorganized, incompetent delusions of grandeur wannabe efforts I've ever seen from a film. Bad story, bad dialogue, bad acting. I suggest everybody save themselves a lot of time and frustration and don't even give this movie or its director or entire studio any of your time or attention. This would be like giving scraps of food to mice. It's just going to encourage them. Why not spend your time on an actual worthwhile piece of art like Robert Edgar's Nosferatu?
Oh, that's oddly specific.
It's like, dude, worse than a soldier getting his, dude, that's
they're just trolling you.
Yeah, exactly. But the problem is, there's real world consequences. Like the views of my movie went way down after I got review bombed, and it sucks because people look at it. Oh, it's got 3.8. That sucks. That movie. I do the same thing. Oh, it's got 3.8. Oh man, it must be so bad it's good. Type thing.
Well, you know what's funny is like, all right. So like, not to detract, because I know that we're talking about like best and worst, but. So
I
like when we're
talking about my own movie, sorry. Yeah.
Hey, well, it's the name of the game. You got to promote yourself.
That's right.
But so like, okay, so I don't really believe most ratings that are like, I don't know, like the only rating system I tend to trust is either like Amazon and the other one is, and this one's less so now, it used to be Rotten Tomatoes, because you couldn't really trust the critic reviews on Rotten Tomatoes because it was the same people who think that like, what was the movie that you told me not to watch because it's 3 hours and terrible?
One battle after another. Which
they're like,
Dude, oh, sorry. Yeah, no, yeah, I exactly know this. No, I know what you're talking about. But, so, sorry, keep going. I'm listening.
Yeah, just real quick. But I used to trust the user reviews on Rotten Tomatoes more because I felt like that was like a real like. It was like more of a real rating. Like you didn't have to, you had to take it with a grain of salt because it was like anonymous and they're not critics or anything. But like I feel like if there was a low critic score but a high user score on Rotten Tomatoes, that was probably going to be a good movie. But then what happened is after I think it was the Rings of Power came out and they got bombed to like smithereens because of a bunch of nerds like me.
Right. But you gave it like a real rating because you realize as a Lord of the Rings fan, this Rings of Power movie is BS and it's not good stuff. So I'm going to relate it to it. I'm going to actually review it what it is. I don't care that they spent $1 billion on this
yes.
stuff.
But part of me wonders if the studios kind of got wise because Rotten Tomatoes was a little bit more like on the ground level, right? But when people started using it more to actually judge based off user scores, I saw this thing where forgot exactly which one. I think it was Rings of Power, but it was something around that time period where the user score went from like 30% and bumped up like within a day to like 60 or 70%. And I
Yeah,
got this sinking suspicion that they basically that's Amazon Studio hired a bunch of like social media like third
bots.
world bots to
Yep,
then
yep,
just submit a bunch of 5-star reviews,
yep.
which means you can't even really trust Rotten Tomatoes anymore, which is unfortunate.
I'm about to blow off the lid on the whole industry right now.
Okay.
Spoiler alert. You can buy Amazon reviews. You can buy IMDb reviews that are
Yep.
undetected. It's against the terms of service, right? But there's ones that are so sophisticated it gets by. And guess what? IMDb is owned by Amazon. Amazon owns IMDb. They own it. So when you have do you think so like if it's the wolves like guarding the hen house. It's like, dude, do you think they want anyone to give honest reviews that the movie is overrated and shitty like One Battle After Another is, which we're about to talk about? No. I saw these reviews like what you're talking about. I saw a review that was like One Battle After Another is a masterpiece. It must be seen on the biggest screen imaginable, and you must go to see it in theaters right now. It's like, dude, is this the bot? There's a ton of them that say, oh, you have to. No, you don't. Watch it on your cell phone, dude. This is not a movie where you have to watch it in a big screen in 3D. Tron, Ares, yes, you do. In 3D and have a great time, which, by the way, this might be controversial. One of the best movies of all time in 2025, at least. Tron Ares. I liked it a lot. I love the Nine Inch Nails soundtrack. I dug it. I love. I actually really like Jared Leto. A lot of people hate Jared Leto. I like him a lot. I think he fit really well in this movie, and I had a blast from start to finish watching it in 3D in the biggest screen possible. Tron Ares. Have you seen Tron Ares?
I haven't, but you're kind of making me want to.
Yes, dude. So I don't know if you can watch it streaming on 3D yet. I don't know, but I have 3D glasses if you need to borrow them. But did you watch Tron Legacy?
Was that?
See, no, you
No,
didn't.
I didn't.
Okay. So I love Tron Legacy. The thing is, Tron movies it's a very defined. People love it or hate it, right? So
Yeah,
if you're kind of a nerd and you kind of like video games and you're like me,
it's like spectacle. It's like spectacle visuals and stuff. Like
yeah,
that's the whole point. They're in
right?
a computer.
Yes, you're in a computer, you're in an algorithm. You've got Jeff Bridges in there, and he's great. Look, you get sucked into a world for 2 hours, hour and a half, 2 hours, and it's a lot of fun. I mean, I go to movies for escapism. I don't go to movies to be depressed or to watch crappy people. Which, going back to One Battle After Another, because we have to go to it. I'm reading the reviews on One Battle After Another. One of them says, even they give him a 7 out of 10. Unbelievably overrated film. Pales on second watch. Much less satisfying after I watched it for the second time today. The entertaining bits, like Bob forgetting the password. They're like, oh my God, it's so funny and relatable. A character forgot a password in the movie. Wow, that's hilarious. Hilarity ensues here. Like it's not that funny, and it's Leo DiCaprio. It's not a good film. Lockjaw's desperation to be hired by the Christmas adventurers and the car chase seemed gimmicky after a revisit. It's definitely an overrated film, maybe one of the better films of recent times, but pales in comparison with great American classics of even the 90s. Someone else said, disappointed. Went to see the movie because the cast with a promise to deliver a highly confusing message was disappointing. No coherence, anything at all. Ended up walking out before the end. Movie seems to glorify revolution, but not really, and for no apparent reason. That's actually a pretty fair review because people hype this up. And again, Warner Brothers. So now it's going to be crazy because Netflix buying Warner Brothers it's going to be, I'm sure there's going to be a Rotten Tomatoes. So I think Warner Brothers owns Rotten Tomatoes, right? So Warner Brothers owns Rotten Tomatoes. Amazon owns
which was just bought by
IMDb,
Netflix.
which is just bought
So
by Netflix. So it's like, dude, are you going to be able to trust any reviews now? Because Warner, like, actually on Rotten Tomatoes, a lot of those reviews, that's what I was trying to say, is a lot of those reviews were, you have to see it at the biggest screen possible on IMAX 3D. No, you don't. And this is owned by, it's owned by Warner. A fair and honest
well,
review.
and they get a kickback when you go to the. Don't they get kickbacks
Of
when they go to
course.
the theater?
Yes.
So it's just industrial capture of.
It,
I mean, it's not much different than like when you remember before 2009 when there was I forgot the company, but it starts with an A, but there was that company that was doing the reviews of all these different like in housing mortgage packages, right, and giving ratings for how risky they were and like the quality of them. But then it turned out that insuring company was basically also participating in the selling of and getting kickbacks for these mortgage packages. So like that's why they were like rating like terrible subprime mortgage loan packages and is like this is a double A package, right? When it was really crap. It's basically the same thing with movies. It's like if you have the studios own these reviewing sites and then there's no like they basically have these, I mean, let's be real, right? A lot of these official movie critics are basically a lot of them get kickbacks, right?
losers, losers.
Well,
So,
like, and even if it's stuff like, well, you really listen. We at Warner Brothers, we love the film review department from the New York Times, and wouldn't you love to keep getting free tickets and free movie or like
yes.
party post party invites and
Yeah. So it's like, okay, look at Star Wars. You just brought up a great point. Look at Star Wars, for example. Star Wars, Force Awakens, Last Jedi, one of the worst movies of all time. Of all time, The Last
terrible,
Jedi. And then
terrible.
Rise of Skywalker, which is a complete mess. This is what happens. They invite these critics to Hollywood Boulevard. They shut down Hollywood Boulevard and they have a replica of a X-wing and the Millennium Falcon on Hollywood Boulevard, and they get walking on the blue carpet. I think it was a blue carpet, and it's an incredible event. You've got stormtroopers everywhere, lightsabers, all this stuff. Do you think they're going to say, "Oh yeah, screw this movie"? Yeah. By the way, Disney. Yeah, thank you so much for inviting me, but your movie sucks. They don't have the balls to
You're
do it.
never getting an invite again if you do
Yeah,
that.
you're not gonna get. They're like, oh, great, dude. I remember I used to do film for extra money. They have opinions on movies, and they disclose like, oh, are you part of a movie studio? Are you part of your own company? Or do you have any type of bias? Which I would lie and say, oh, no, I don't. I'm a dentist or whatever. And then I distinctly remember we watched a rough cut of one of Robin Williams's last movies, and it was not a good movie. It was he wasn't funny in it, but he wasn't a dramatic actor. He was just kind of in a bad mood the whole time. And they're like, okay, everyone, so real quick, we got to keep about 20 of you. And there was like maybe 30 people in the audience, right? We got to keep like 20 of you guys because we want to hear more of your thoughts. Who all liked the movie, right? And about 25 or no, someone they asked who didn't like the movie. Who didn't like the movie? It was myself and my two friends that I went with. We were getting paid $150 or $200 to watch the movie, right? Because you get paid for your opinions. And you fill out a survey, and we raised our hands, and they're like, okay, great. Okay, who all liked the movie, right? And everyone else raised their hands, and they're like, okay, so real quick, we're just gonna keep some of you, and then actually, the three of you guys, yeah, you guys
You
can
can
go
get
home.
out.
You guys can go home. So it was like we got kicked out because we openly said, they're like, by the way, it doesn't matter whether you like the movie or not, whether you like it or not, just give us your honest opinion, right? And we gave the honest. It was a crappy movie. Who didn't like? Yeah, and they got us the hell out of there, and they kept the people that liked the movie. So it's such a weird world, and then also because it's that weird thing where it's an opinion, so they could say, oh well, art is subjective. So maybe they are legit, or maybe they're not legit, right? Like, but you can't really prove it either way, right?
Anytime that I hear blank is subjective, I just now here's the thing, like legitimately, if you're just arguing in a vacuum, right? Yeah, obviously there are some things, at least some things about art that are very subjective, right? Like preference over genre, sometimes preference over actors or like stories stuff. But whenever I hear that in the context of like the modern movie industry, all I think is you're just trying to give yourself cover so that you can say, well, you can't say my thing is bad because it's all subjective. And it's like, listen, man, like
Right.
it's it's not.
Dude,
Here's the thing,
I
right?
always
It's
say,
like
I say, unbiased anonymous sources say Hayhoe Studios is the greatest film company of all time. You know what I mean? It's like, as long as you say, hey,
it's
this is
on our
unbiased.
survey, 100% of insider media Hollywood people,
Moguls.
producers think
Yeah.
Hayhoe Studios is the best studio.
Right, exactly. It's like I make a joke out of it because it is a joke, dude. It's a complete joke. It's the same thing where they say, oh, 9 out of 10 dentists recommend Crest toothpaste, right? And it's like, okay, how many dentists did they ask? Did they pay these dentists? Like, hey,
They asked
you know,
10 dentists that they pre-screened and then they gave everyone $500. Like,
yeah,
here you go.
exactly, totally. And I agree. Robin was great as a villain in Insomnia. He's fantastic in 1 Hour Photo, which I rewatched recently. That's a fantastic movie. Have you seen 1 Hour Photo, Robin Williams?
I
You gotta watch.
haven't. I've seen kind of the big Robin Williams movies, but
Okay, yeah. 1 Hour Photo is a great movie. He's like a drugstore photo developer, and he falls in love. He develops like an obsession with a woman, yeah, who has a husband and a kid, and he's kind of like, oh yeah, I'm like Uncle Cy. I've been developing your pictures for 10 years or whatever it is. I watched you grow up and everything, and it's ooh, it's eerie, it's
that's a
creepy.
little
He's in a
creepy.
show. Yeah, exactly. It's a little creepy, and she's
that's
like, oh yeah, like
that's like
it's
have you seen I'm sure you have Little Nicky with the Adam Sandler movie.
oh yeah,
It's like
he's
the
like
intro scene where John Lovett's in the tree and he calls the house. It's like,
yes,
oh, that's creepy.
you're right. Yeah, or he goes like, he's like, hey, he's like, I'm from the South, the deep South. I don't know why that's so funny. It's like,
I love, by the way, at the end, because like they make the joke of like he's no George Clooney, right? Because he's like has a bent face, and then at
right.
the end it says that he got smacked in with a shovel and his face corrected during a gardening incident with his wife, and then it goes, but he's still no George Clooney.
Yeah, exactly. Well, and that's what I like about Adam Sandler is that he openly admits, like people say, well, he's not the most attractive leading guy, but he's an everyman. You know what I mean? Like he's
Yeah.
someone where you look at him like, okay, that could be me, that could be anybody, you don't
Well,
see
and I'm
them
not as
as
I'm not as big a fan of like his kind of newer movies, but even in his newer movies, he's like even when he's like a rich millionaire or something, right? He's always like acting as if he's just some sort of middle-aged schlub.
you're
Like that's
right.
just what he does.
Totally. Yeah. Yeah, exactly. And he doesn't. And again, I think he is still trying. There's still, Happy Gilmore 2, which we're getting on some. Well, we're actually that might be on topic. Did you see Happy Gilmore 2, 2025 movie that came out
I
on
did, and
Netflix?
I saw ads and like clips for it. And my mom watches. She was a big Adam Sandler, like original Adam Sandler movies fan too.
What did she think
I don't
about it?
know.
What does
She thought
Uncanny's
it was
mom
all.
think about it? Yeah.
She thought it was all right. She's a little bit that's gonna sound really snobby. She's a little bit basic when it comes to like her movie preferences and stuff. Um
Yeah.
I don't know. I get kind of nervous about watching movies like that of like sequels or remakes of classic
Dude,
stuff I really like.
same. Because it's like with Dumb and Dumber 2. Did you ever see Dumb and Dumber 2?
No, but once again it's a classic, right? Like Dumb and
You're right.
Dumber is like classic childhood.
And that's the thing is like if they don't make the sequel within the next couple years, like let's say 5, 6, maybe 7 years if you really push it. I'm only saying that because I made my first movie Rideshare, and maybe I will make a sequel. And it's been about 7 years now. But like once it's been 25 years or 30 years, it's kind of like yeah, just leave it alone. Just leave. You can only damage it. And now watching it, I thought it was really funny the first bit of it, but then it jumps the shark. The movie essentially jumps the shark, and
it's just different too because like he's like Happy Gilmore, the original one, that was like young Adam Sandler. He was still had like the fire and angst of youth, right? So like he would do the classic Adam Sandler thing. Is like he'd be like, "That would have been good to know yesterday." Right?
Yeah.
Like from like Wedding Singer and stuff. But like, yeah, that just isn't who he is anymore, man. It reminds me of a quote. I was watching some scenes from kind of like the filming of Indiana Jones and the Crystal Skull, and it was the lady who plays Miriam, forgot her name. She was also in The Sandlot, but she was talking about like Steven Spielberg is like a grandpa, and like everyone's like in the project is like old now, and like it's good to know them as like mature adults. And it's like, but if you look at actual like old school Indiana Jones, like all of them were young. They were all like, there's pictures of them being on set, like being sunburned and shirtless, and like they had the
now we're
Indiana
talking.
Jones ripped a man's heart, or like the guy ripped the heart out of that dude, and you're just like,
it's beating.
there's just that fire isn't there anymore.
Yeah. Well, that is a tough thing. Kalima. Yeah, dude. Oh my gosh. Or it reminds me of the Mummy. Anaxalamoon.
Oh, the Mummy was the original was so good, man. Brendan Fraser
good.
was
so good. It's so good. And when you see it, it's like people are going after it. It's when you go for Moby Dick, bring the spear, but bring the tartar sauce too. It's like you go expecting to slay that white whale, dude. You do it, and you see that fire in their eyes, like young Adam Sandler, like Indiana Jones back in the day. When you have Indiana Jones in the latest one, Dial of Destiny, where he's complaining about his neighbors playing loud music.
And you're like Indiana Jones, like I love like from the original movie, right? The Ark of the Covenant. When they're in the scene in I think it's in Egypt, right? And like the dude pulls out the swords and then he just shoots him.
And he shoots him,
right?
Yeah.
And like the funny part is so like the lore behind that. You probably know this because you're like a film nerd too. But
I do know.
That, right? That was just what's his name? Who the actor for Indiana Jones? No, not Steven Spielberg. It was the actor Harrison Ford.
Yeah.
Harrison Ford was like had like a week of diarrhea, and he was just like, I'm done with this scene. I'm just gonna bam, right? And then they're like, yeah, let's keep it. That's pretty edgy.
Right. Like, well, yeah, exactly. Because he was so exhausted, he didn't want to do any crazy whip thing, or because that is, it's hot. He's sick. He has diarrhea, but you have a shoot, where it's like you've got money on the line, investors on the line. You're at a location. It's hard to be like, and he powered through it. But just doing that is, and that made it hilarious. Because the guy did the whole crazy thing, and he's like, all right.
Right, well, it's because that's like the joke, right? It's like, he just brought swords to a gunfight. Like, why would he risk dying to sword fight you when he could just shoot you with his pistol?
Exactly. We got Tommy in the building. What up, Tommy? What up, Tommy? Tommy's in the building. What's up, Tommy? Nice of you to show up, man. Good to see you. We got Tommy in the building. So we're talking about the best and worst. So let's continue the scene. We're talking about overrated movies. Okay. Now real quick, I'm just gonna say movies that I have not seen that people have been talking about, good or bad, right or wrong. I'm just gonna say I've not seen Zootopia 2. I've not seen Wicked. I haven't seen Captain America. I don't give a crap about Captain America. It's one of the dumbest superheroes, other than Superman, which we will talk about in a little bit. I did not see Demon Slayer, which you can talk about later. I didn't.
K-pop Demon Slayer.
Yeah, K-pop demons, which I'm like, where the heck did that come from? And then all of a sudden they made half a freaking $1 billion, or
Oh yeah.
while still on Netflix, which is like an unheard of thing. Did you see Black Phone 2? Did you end up seeing that as well?
No, we didn't have time to watch it today. That's on the list for probably later this weekend.
Okay, so later,
we liked the first one, which I know you told me.
I did not. Black Phone 2 is not a good one. I didn't see Elio. I saw 28 Years Later. It's okay. It's not terrible, but it's not really worth talking about. I'm looking at Naked Gun. It's an honorable mention. It's better than I thought it was going to be. Did you see the new Naked Gun?
No, I didn't.
Okay,
see
so
that one.
I thought it was going to be the worst rendition, and it wasn't, which is good. I had some laughs with it, and it was kind of non-PC humor, which is funny. There's a couple scenes that are really funny with it, and it's worth mentioning. But again, it's not so bad. It's bad. It's not so good. Needs to make the list. But it's an honorable mention.
How was Liam Neeson in that movie?
Surprisingly, he was better than I thought he was going to be. I did not think he was going to be good. I'm actually 50-50 with Liam Neeson, where I'll either really like him in certain things or I'll think he's completely overrated. Again, okay, so speaking of hate, I'm just inviting all the haters to come at me. Taken. The scene is a great scene where he's like, "I will find you and I will kill you."
I have a particular set of skills.
Yeah, right. But you're 65 years old, you're 70 years old, and it's like, how much can this guy do versus like 20, 30-year-old trained assassins? I think it's completely overrated movie. All the Taken movies. I don't.
You want to know my take on Taken? So I watched
your take on Taken. Are you taking a take right now on Taken?
I am. I'm being uncanny. But okay, so I was watching Taken 3 on the TV. It was just kind of on, and I started watching it, right? Because I'm like, oh, okay, whatever. And then there was this scene where he's talking with his daughter, and he's like,
did she get taken again? Like, how many times did you get taken?
You don't even understand. I mean, like, they need to, like, I don't know, chain them down or something, because they just keep getting taken. But there's a scene where Liam Neeson is talking to his daughter, and he's like, I need a bite of a cookie because my blood sugar's low. And I'm like, bro, this is depressing. Like, I don't want to watch a movie about Liam Neeson going after, like, an international crime syndicate while he's worried about his diabetes.
Diabetes.
It's just depressing.
He's got the diabetes.
The biggest danger is not the 20 dudes with Uzis. The biggest danger is my high blood sugar.
Dude, that's 10 times worse than I even thought. And again, like Taken 1, I just, I didn't care to see Taken 2. Of course, I'm not going to see Taken 3. All right, so real quick, we'll go Running Man. I do want to see that movie, even though it's a remake of a classic Arnold Schwarzenegger movie. I love Arnold Schwarzenegger. I love the Running Man. Have you seen the Running Man?
No, I've not.
Okay, we have to, like, next time. I guess we got to reconvene and we'll talk about movies.
Give me a list of homework and I'll work on it.
Okay, sounds good. So another movie that apparently is supposed to be really good and really realistic is Warfare. It's an A24 film about the Iraq War, and it's like really gritty. It's supposed to be really good. I have not seen that, but I will probably see it.
I wanted to watch that, but then you gave me the other recommendation for the movie with the alien with Emma Stone.
Oh, Begonia. Okay.
So
you were going to see that. So you were going to see that instead of Begonia.
Yes, but I decided I'll take your recommendation. But Warfare looks pretty good. There's some really good Iraq War movies, like
Black Hawk Down. Black Hawk Down.
That's definitely not Iraq, but that's a good one.
Oh yeah, that's right. Sorry, same thing.
But no, the Hurt Locker was really good too. But that one's
that was good. That was I like the Hurt Locker was really good.
Oh yeah.
Okay, Marty Supreme is supposed to be really good. I've not seen that one yet. And funnily enough, it's below Bugonia. So Bugonia has done better than Marty Supreme as of right now, as of this list, as of today, New Year's Day, 2026. Eddington, I watched, and it's a better than most movie, but still not honorable. Like the director is the same director as Midsommar. Ari Aster. Have you seen Midsommar?
Midsummer, the
Yeah.
horror movie.
Yes.
I'm gonna make a very bold statement that
Let's hear
you
it,
may disagree with.
please.
Midsummer is one of the most boring, terrible horror movies I've watched in my whole life.
Uncanny.
Uh,
Uncanny take, everybody. You know what's so interesting? I have friends that have that same point of view as you, and I see what you're saying. I see what you're saying. Not a whole lot happens, but like I saw it in the theaters. Well, okay, let's paint a picture here. When you saw it, what did you watch it
it,
on your phone? Did you watch it at home? Were you in the theaters?
I
Talk to
watched
me.
it with my wife on our couch during Spooktober, one of our Spooktober
Do you
fests.
have a big screen? Let me ask you this. Do
Yeah.
you have a big screen?
I mean, what was it at the time? 60. Yeah, 65-inch. So, decent size.
That's
I will
pretty
say
good.
this. I will say this. The scenery is beautiful. The camera work is good. The noise quality is good. The thing that annoys me is that I absolutely hate all the characters, and I didn't feel bad at all when they died. In fact, one of the deaths I actually thought was actually really funny. So, spoilers, I guess, to block your ears
Yeah.
for a
Spoiler
minute.
Midsummer. Yeah.
Um, at the end when he's in the bear suit and like it's just pans out slowly to him chilling in this Winnie the Pooh suit, I literally burst into laughter. I was like, this actually is really funny. I'm like, is this supposed to be scary? Like, I don't
Dude,
know.
well, that's Tommy. Do you have a big
And
screen? Yeah. Well, it is kind of supposed to be funny though, because it is dark humor. It's a lot of dark humors in there, and there's a lot of awkwardness in there, and they let these moments breathe, which is pretty rare for a movie. Where you get a Marvel movie where it's like, oh, they get a joke and they cut to the other thing, then they cut to something else, and then they're trying to entertain you the whole time. This they let those scenes breathe and they let it go, and which is what I liked about it. I saw it on a big screen, baby.
oh,
I saw it at the theater with one of my best friends, Chris, and we had a blast watching. I was so hyped after watching this movie that I got in a car accident in the parking lot right after. It was
really? I
nuts.
thought you were gonna say
Yes.
you booked a trip to Norway or something.
No, I was so excited. Yeah, no, I wasn't that excited, but
Let me go find the commune.
yeah, no, I was so stoked because we were gonna go back to Chris and we were gonna go in a hot tub and chill, and that sounds kind of questionable, but he's a friend. He's a friend of mine. And
Oh, you're all jazzed up in a hot tub with
I was,
with your man friends, huh?
it was before, but like, yeah. So I rolled a stop sign and I barely I slammed on the brake. This other convertible like was going, and I saw in last minute it was a young couple who ended up getting freaking $30,000 in insurance. And they said they had a broken neck, which they did not. They jumped out of the car, were pissed at me, and I hit them at maybe 10 miles an hour. So it's like, dude, it was like bumper cars, you know.
So what you're saying
Now,
is that your car accident was more scary than Midsummer.
and I'm not saying that. No, the amount of money that the person that we bumped into was scarier. And I got jack crap out of that, and they hired some crappy personal injury attorney and made a bunch of money. Okay, we're going off topic here.
Well,
I'm
hey, at
telling
least they didn't stuff you in the bear suit, right?
yeah, well, yeah, yeah, exactly. That's what she said. Am I right, Tommy? Hello. You already, but that was the only car accident that I'd been in. Anyway, so all right, we're going. Okay, another notable thing is the Smashing Machine. Speaking of The Rock, apparently it's supposed to be The Rock's like big debut in acting. Have you seen that?
The Smashing Machine, is that new?
It's
Oh,
fairly
you said it was
new.
a big
It's The Rock. The Rock is like morphs into some UFC fighter, I think is what it is.
Oh, it's a self-insert biography of The Rock?
Yes, a biopic. No, it's not of The Rock. It's from another. It's about another guy where The Rock doesn't have eyebrows. so, so The
Yeah, I'm
Rock.
looking at pictures right now, and it looks pretty weird. Or
Yeah,
his
so
face looks pretty weird.
it's an A24. Speaking of Midsummer, same distribution company as Midsummer is a Smashing Machine. So yeah, I want to see it again. It's on my list. You know, I want to see it, but you know, I didn't get around to it. So again, people are like, "Oh, well, why don't you put this movie, that movie on the list? Why don't you put that?" Well, a lot of times, hey, maybe I didn't actually watch that movie.
So
Okay,
what you're saying is that you did not smell what The Rock was cooking.
I did not. That's not when. When it came to Smash Machine, I did not. I did not smash that machine. So yeah,
And
there's
you should
him.
smash that like though if you're listening.
Yes, guys, absolutely. Smash that like button if you guys really like it. Send a tip because every dollar goes towards making content and making movies. I might make an announcement about our latest and greatest movie at Hayhoe Studios at the end.
Heyo.
So, yes. So, guys, be sure to stay tuned. No car was total. There was a tiny dent, Tommy, is my point. There was no it was a tiny dent in a parking lot fender bender. It was the biggest joke ever, Tommy. So that's my whole point. But anyway, okay. They're coming out next. We were talking about honorable mentions. Okay, so let's start with some of the better movies of the year. The Monkey with Neon. Have you seen The Monkey?
Hey, listen, unless it's about an animated movie about Korean teenagers fighting demons or Hawaiian girls fighting aliens, I probably
Right.
haven't seen it.
Okay.
Hey, when are we going to talk about the Korean demon hunter girl band?
We'll get to that. We'll get to that. You know, we got to work
Okay.
up to it. You know, so The Monkey was a really good horror movie. It's by George Perkins, who is Anthony Perkins' son. Anthony
It's
Perkins.
a Stephen King movie.
Yeah. So yeah, it's based on a Stephen King story where if you get a monkey, it kills you. It's a James Wan produced thing. It's pretty good. It's actually pretty messed up. That like the death scenes in this movie. If you are into horror movie, it is pretty gory. Just a heads up. So it's not for the faint of heart. But The Monkey is definitely worth watching. I really liked it. It's the same director as Longlegs with Nicolas Cage. When Nicolas Cage had a wig and prosthetics and he played a transgender person. Did you see Longlegs last year? That came out 2024.
Yes, Longleg I really liked it.
You did see it. Okay, awesome. Okay, so
I
we can
did.
talk
Listen,
about that.
I
Yes,
didn't
we
see
can talk
it
about it.
2025, but I did see.
I'm taking a
few
shot because of it.
I liked that movie. It was very interesting, and it was very strange to see Nick Cage wasn't even like the main character, which is almost unheard of in a Nick Cage movie.
Yeah, you know, but I still thought he was haunting. Like he was.
Oh,
haunting.
he did great. Very creepy.
Yeah. Super creepy movie. Like I watched it twice in theaters and I want to watch it again. It's really thank you, Tommy, for slapping that like button. You know, it stuck with me. That's the movie that stuck with me. So this is the same writer director as Longlegs, and he kind of did these like right back to back. I think they were only 6 months apart or something. It's definitely worth watching. If you like Longlegs, watch The Monkey. It's almost like the monkey's paw gift. You know, have you heard of that tale?
Yeah, it's like a Lucky Charm kind of thing.
Yeah, it's a lucky but not so lucky charm. You know, you get your wish, but at a cost, right? So that's my camera here. Yeah, so you get a wish.
That's like the plot of one of those episodes of the old Twilight Zone show. Right. Haha, you'll get this thing, but it'll have the genie kind of Uno reverse effect.
Right, yeah, exactly. And we've got Chris Wallace in the house. What's up, Chris Wallace? He's a good friend of mine. He is a writer and director and actor. he saw A24's Death of a Unicorn. It was just okay. I wasn't sure what to expect. Certainly not that. Yeah, I watched the trailer to that one, and I was like, okay, I don't really know and or think that this is going to be a good movie, so I didn't watch it. But I'm glad you watched it instead of me. Yeah, because I there's certain movies I'm pretty, for me, humbly can say I'm pretty spot on. If I could watch the movie at a trailer, I kind of know what the movie's going to be. When you talk about Five Nights at Freddy's 2,
Oh yeah,
yeah,
that
you told
movie
me
is. I watched it. I watched it right before I jumped on here. We'll discuss in more length. Absolutely not good.
it is
Even worse than the first one.
Even worse than the first one. Okay, you know what? Why don't we just talk about that right now? Because we're talking about some of the worst of 2025, and that sounds like it was for rent for $20. I'm like, do I want to splurge 20? I'm like, dude, $20. I can get like 2 Chipotle burritos with that money. You know what I mean? Like, I can.
It was a waste of money. I thought it probably would be, but it was. It wasn't even bad enough to be like The Room, right? Where it's like so bad that it's good. It was just boring. It was so like okay, I'm gonna have another hot take. Maybe this will get you.
Yes. Oh, I love it.
Hopefully
Okay.
not bump down even more on your IMDb ratings, but
dude, whatever. Who cares? Who cares?
So
right?
What's the name of the actor?
I got nothing to lose, baby. Let's go.
You know the actor, the main guy in Five Nights at Freddy's, the first one.
Josh, whatever his name is. Yeah.
Yeah,
Josh.
it was in. He was in what's it called with Katniss?
Hunger Games.
Hunger Games. Yeah.
Yep.
So that actor. This is gonna sound really mean because I mean he has a career, so I don't know. It doesn't affect him. He's a millionaire, right?
Whatever you say, I'm gonna say something 10 times meaner, probably. Okay, go.
He has, the old joke about Kristen Stewart, how it's like Kristen Stewart sad and it's the same face, and Kristen Stewart happy and it's the same. It's just sulking, right? He is like Kristen Stewart. That's a little harsh to her because that was mostly just the Twilight movies. That is literally him. I don't know if I've ever seen him change his facial expression in any movie since he was a kid. Like since Bridge to Terabithia, since the Space Jumanji, to all the way to the Hunger Games. He literally has one emotion. He is terrible at delivering lines. He doesn't like his voice doesn't change pitch or tone. Is he like related to a producer or something? Because I honestly have seen better actors in my high school, like when I was in high school theater. Like I don't understand, and he was just as monotone and boring and unexciting as he ever has been, and he's the worst protagonist I've ever seen in a movie. All right,
look, I'm going to distill exactly what you just said in one sentence. Okay, if Milk Toast was an actor, it would be this guy. It would be him. It would be him. He is so boring, and I don't care about him. He's a crappy security guard. He's got a bad personality. He's trying to provide for the kid, but you don't really care for him because he's not interesting enough, and he's not edgy enough, and he's look again like what you're saying. Look, he's a millionaire. Look, he's a handsome man. He's handsome, right? So, but like if you're looking at actors need to have more than just looks, right?
Listen, Danny DeVito is a great actor, and he looks like a troll.
Which, by the way, yesterday I watched Batman Returns, which needs to be on the top 10 list of best Christmas movies of all time. I just said
the Penguin?
The Penguin, dude, he is haunting. He is scarring, but he is so good in that role. And the way he waddles and the way they have him, his body set up and the way he falls down and him biting the nose.
He just does that naturally.
He does that but it's like, dude. He was perfect, and it is a caricature. Yeah, okay. We see that it's makeup. We see that he's got dark circles under his eyes, and it looks like makeup. But you buy into this character that he's this guy who lives in a sewer cavern who quacks like a penguin.
So there was So you know the show It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia?
Yes, he's hilarious.
So me and that was actually, it's funny, is that's one of the big ways that me and my wife early on when we started dating, we bonded by sharing It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia quotes and memes. Nice. And so like we listened to the guys who made It's Always Sunny, they have a podcast where they kind of talk about past episodes and stuff, right? And one of the things that they say about Danny DeVito is that he's a really intense actor. So like he really gets into his roles to the point where he won't even break character or like small talk in between scenes or anything because he is just so focused on giving the performance. But he also
Wow.
seems like a cool guy from everything that I've heard. Like people don't complain he's like a mean person or something.
Well, and that's the thing about Danny DeVito is he is who he is, but he's not trying to be something. You know, he's acting, but he's not trying to be better than he is. Or some actors are trying to be, you know, they want to have a certain persona. Like he doesn't care. Like you know, he'll bite the nose and wear a long nose and penguin, you know, flippers,
But
right?
he's
Like
going to be the best cheesy used car salesman version of the Penguin you've ever seen.
well, but that's giving it. That's actually undercutting him a bit. I don't think he's a used car salesman. I think he's a professional. Like the guy's a legit professional. Like no one else could have played the Penguin. There isn't a single freaking person on the planet that had his name stature. Right, being in Twins, being in all those movies
Yeah.
in the 80s and 90s. He could only do it, dude, and he only had the balls to do it. You know what I mean? He had the guts to actually do it. And when he's got the Penguin, dude, the Penguin is a villain, dude. That is a real villain. Like when they bring in Milk Toast, freaking Bane and Dark Knight Rises, like, oh, I took the all the Wall Street money and gave it to you, the people. It's like
Also, when he
you're
says
a
that in the movie,
villain.
by the way, he says that he liberates the people of Gotham after he blows up Gotham's high max security prison and lets all the convicts out, and then gives them automatic rifles. You're like, I don't know about this plan, Bane. I feel like the average kind of person's not really getting the good end here, but whatever.
Yeah, you're right. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So, yeah, it's yeah. So Five Nights at Freddy's, that sounded exactly like what I expected it to be, more of the same, if not worse. And look, like
It's
I like the whole animatronic theme. I like the whole Chuck E. Cheese haunted, scary Chuck E. Cheese. You know, because
yeah. Well,
Chuck E. Cheese already scared the crap out of me as a kid already, like without it having to do anything. It's like Chucky scared all the animatronic things looking at you, like you know, like that's
so like
already scared the crap out of me.
So this is the thing. It's kind of funny. So I was watching this Let's Play of this guy who's like a funny YouTuber, and I was watching him play one of the newer Five Nights at Freddy games, right? And then I kind of delve into the lore a bit. So I was like, this is crazy. The lore behind Five Nights at Freddy's is actually really interesting. And they took that lore, they gave they made the lead protagonist the most boring actor known to mankind, and then they made the lore even more boring. And you're like, it's just it's kind of like for me, it's kind of like Rings of Power, where it's like you have some of the best things, like a really great lore and backstory to go off of, and this is what you made.
Dude, well, and that's the thing. So okay. So with Amazon, you have $1 billion. You have anything and everything at your disposal. You got hundreds of millions of users, if not billions of users, whatever. You have everything at your disposal, and then you make a plain Jane girl boss, like she's just
You don't even use magic, man. She's supposed to be the
invincible.
most powerful witch elf there is, and
Right, of
she's like,
course. And so is Ray, who showed up on a freaking Jakku. Hey, I live in Jakku. It's not Tatooine, it's Jakkuin. And you know, I'm a freaking desert slave. But by the way, I can pilot the Millennium Falcon better than Harrison Ford himself.
hey,
Like,
I will say this: I despised Star Wars: The Last Jedi, but
yes.
I will say this: there was a line in there. There was a part where at the towards the beginning, where Snoke was berating Kylo Ren, and he's like, "You got bested by a girl who had never even held a lightsaber," and I was like, "Yeah, that did happen actually, and that is pretty pathetic. You should be berated for that."
You're right. Well, so that's like the acknowledging the fly in the wall or the elephant in the room, where the writers do that, where it's like, okay, you know, we really just made her an amazing pilot. Are people going to buy this? It's like, well, what, you know,
That was Ryan Johnson's oh, good job with that, JJ. And then the whole last movie is JJ's version of good job with that, Ryan.
Dude, it was Ryan Johnson gave a huge middle finger to J.J. Abrams with The Last Jedi and to Star Wars fans and to the film industry in general. He just gave a huge giant middle finger saying like, screw you guys. I don't give a fuck. I don't care. I'm going to make the worst Star Wars movie ever. I'm going to subject all these expectations.
He did subvert our expectations. He did, in fact, do that.
Congrats. Hey, congrats. You did that. Oh, congratulations. You subverted all our expectations. Now, what do we have? We have Han Solo is a pansy. You have Rey is invincible. You have Snoke, who's a joke. You have the redheaded
Luke
guy,
Skywalker, who drinks alien milk straight from the beast.
Yeah, that was my favorite part of the whole movie because I actually laughed out loud because I was like, they jumped the shark. They literally jumped the shark at this point, and he's milking this alien, and he's drinking blue milk.
And then he drinks it and he goes,
like,
I was telling you about this earlier this year. Sorry, you go.
No. Okay. So real quick. Have you seen that they say the Chile version of Star Wars had to have ads, but they couldn't? They had to integrate the ads somehow. So they had Obi-Wan Kenobi open up the side of the Death Star or something like that, and then all of a sudden it's like, Cerveza Christos, Cerveza Christos, Cerveza. He goes in and grabs a beer, and it's like a shot of a man grabbing a beer from a cooler, and then this beer commercial. Cerveza Christos, like Cerveza Christos. Yeah, and then he goes like, oh yes, Jedi.
All right, I gotta look this up.
Dude, we got. No. Let's actually look this up right now. No, I'm gonna screen it. I'll get it for you. I'll bring it up here. You watch where we're at right now.
I'm just getting all these pictures where it's like a split picture between Obi-Wan smiling and then a beer.
Yeah. Okay, no. I'm gonna play it. I'm gonna play it for us. I might get DMC flagged, but it's just fair use, guys. YouTube, guys, just so you know.
This is for artistic license.
Yeah, this is for artistic license. This is Cerveza Crystal. Okay. And hopefully it shares. Can you hear it when I play it? Can you hear it?
Clone Wars? Yep.
Okay. All right, we're gonna play this. All right, guys, this is Cerveza Crystal's. This is Cerveza Crystal's brand market advertising in Star Wars. Your father.
That was subtle.
Yes. Yeah, I like how they humbly, you don't even know it's an ad, right? You don't even know it's an ad. It's so humble. It's so subtle.
When some Chilean guy starts singing Cerveza Cristal.
Cerveza Cristal. He's just like holding the beer.
You ever a hermit who's stuck on a desert planet for 20 years while you flee the Empire? You might need some Cerveza Cristal.
Cerveza Cristal. It's like, your father wanted you to have this. It's like, what? Your father wanted you to have a beer. Your father wanted to have you a beer. You got to lighten up.
Darth Vader gets a bad rap. He just wanted to pass along his amazing beer to his son when he was ready.
Exactly. He needed to have it, which I need to take a drink. Here.
You need Cerveza Cristal?
I need some Cerveza Cristal. I want to try that beer, by the way. All right, cheers, guys. We're going to watch the next one in a second.
All right, I'll get something to drink, too.
Hey, now we're talking. We got Uncanny here. Uncanny is a very good friend of mine. He's very knowledgeable about a lot of things. He's a historian, and he's a film aficionado. I know people are giving him crap because he wants to stay uncanny. He wants to be anonymous. But you know what? A lot of people do that online, and there's a lot of repercussions to have opinions on movies, and you never know what could happen, right? So for me, if you guys are going to give anyone flack, give it to me because I'm the host, and I don't care. I honestly don't care. If people people have review bombed my movie Simp because I didn't like Nosferatu. So the Nosferatu fans, the Robert Eggers fans, which I'm a Robert Eggers fan as well, but they review bombed me because I didn't like Nosferatu because it sucked. It was a crappy movie. And I will say it. And I would rather have people say, if someone's told me, not review bombing, you know what I mean? You wanted to say, oh, your movie sucks, you suck, your family sucks, you need to die in a fire. Okay, that's not constructive. You know what I mean? It's like, yeah, you know what I mean?
Well,
it's
that's
like,
not going to help you make a better movie.
Right. Yeah, I know. Believe it or not, it won't help anything. It won't help anyone do anything. But it's like, hey, look, I like this aspect, you know, okay, so in film school, which I didn't make into, by the way, but everyone thought that I was in film school because I volunteered in everyone's set at SDSU. People would ask me what I thought of their movie, and I said, I really like the set design. Set design was great, but the rest of it sucked. I was bored to tears. You had this guy reflect about his past relationship with his girlfriend, and then he wants to leave the pod of his spaceship in outer space, and it's just him. And then you have him open up the pod doors and unalive himself. And then you have like a cardboard cutout of the guy side thing spinning. And I'm like, dude, this is depressing. This is a depressing movie.
That's pretty depressing.
And
that's more depressing than Luke waiting to die on some island in the middle of space.
Yes, 100%. This is an actual short film that an actual filmmaker who I worked with at the time at San Diego State at KPBS, as it's like KVIE 6 here, but it's down there. And he was a student assistant and everything, and he worked. And he's like, "Well, I thought my movie was really good." I'm like, "Dude, no, it was depressing." But he did. But I will say, but I won't crap on him the whole time. I said, "Hey, look, your set was really cool." He had a really cool set design of a space pod that he made. You know, so it's like, look, I'm not gonna just. I don't want. I'm gonna tell you my honest opinion, but I'm not gonna like just make you demoralized or open up the pod bays and go into outer space. You know what I mean? Like, hey, you had some cool. Every movie, whether it's the worst movie in the world or the best, like there's something good about it. So you got to give that silver lining.
I don't know, man. I know in the past I've told you about when Netflix lost their licensing back in like I think 2010. They lost a lot of their licensing for the good movies, and all they had was like these terrible, like not even B movies. They're like F movies, right? And there was the movie I think I told you about, Nymphoid Barbarian and Dinosaur Hell. I don't know if there was anything good about that movie. That might have just been one of the worst movies I've ever seen without redemption.
Well, fair enough. I mean, the thing is, it's like there's stuff that's schlocky, right?
Oh, yeah.
It's too schlocky, and you can tell the people aren't even trying. What I'm talking about is if the filmmakers are actually trying and they think they're making a good movie, you at least give them some type of credit, even if they're trying.
Oh, yeah.
You know, it's like you give them some type of credit. But again, yeah, like what you were saying, I don't feel bad if it's Netflix and they've got $1 billion and they're wasting it all on some crappy crap. And, I'm like, look, Rings of Power, right? Or Amazon, $1 billion, Ring of Power. They had everything they needed to make an epic Lord of the Rings TV series. Are you joking me? They have unlimited money. They can make a Lord of the Rings series. This sounds amazing. I
think it's okay. So like, I don't know. Maybe I think that part of it is because like if you look at certain movies, right, like Star Wars, the original Star Wars, like he basically like George Lucas got, what was it, like around $1 million, right? He basically got thrown at him from a studio, which was not a lot for a movie. It's a lot for like an independent filmmaker, right? But it wasn't a lot for a studio. And they're basically like, all right, go there and make something for us. And
I think it was 20 million or something like that, but still, it's low budget for a sci-fi movie. Yeah.
It was low budget for basically anything except for maybe like the Beethoven dog movies, right? one of the 14 or 16
Star Wars, Beethoven dog movies, Airbud. It's all the same. It's all the same.
But it's like, I don't know, like when you watch like the film, like the making of Star Wars A New Hope, it's like it basically was like hell, right? Like it's just they were out on like actual scenes, like they like went over budget, like they went over time, they had to do all kinds of crazy cuts and edits and post. Like it really was kind of a disaster, but they made it into a masterpiece.
So real quick, I'm just going to show just to back up your claim. I was wrong. It's not 20 million, but it was 11 million. But the original budget was 8 million, and then it ballooned. It ballooned to 11 million, which at that time for an indie director, which by the way, he just tanked another movie, which
Red Tails.
No, that Red. We'll laugh about the Red Tails offline later, but
okay.
Red Tails was a lot later than Star Wars. It was like in the early 2000s. But
Howard the Duck.
Yeah, no. It was the Harrison Ford movie. He casted Harrison Ford. It was the Easy Rider, not Easy Rider, but it was a 50s movie.
Oh, where were you in 62? Or
No,
that different one? It's the one that Mel's Diner, Mel's Cafe and Diner.
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah,
American Graffiti.
That was it. American Graffiti.
So 73. So that came out in 73, and that tanked. Okay. So 4 years later, he comes out with A New Hope. Okay. By the way, Red Tails was 2012. Okay.
Really?
Yeah. So it wasn't 1973. It was 2012.
Hey, 2012. By the way, the funny part is, you mentioned American Graffiti. I was literally thinking about that earlier because you were talking about how every movie about Sacramento is about how terrible it is. And American Graffiti is based around George Lucas's cruising days in Modesto. That's where he's from.
Yeah. Yes. You're absolutely right. Yeah.
And he portrayed it as good. It was basically like a lesser version of Grease.
You're absolutely right. Yeah. It was like without the singing and dancing of Grease. But
the best parts of Grease.
Right. But you know what? I watched it about 3 years ago for the first time, and it holds up. It's a fun movie. It is going back to the slice of life Richard Linklater movie, Napoleon Dynamite, stuff like that. It's a slice of life movie. American Graffiti, for anyone who has not watched it, it's a good movie. It's a fun movie to watch. You got Ron Howard, an early Ron Howard there, right? Opie, little Opie, right?
Yep.
Little Opie is there. Ron Howard, Da Vinci Code director, and
basically an evolution out of Happy Days.
Exactly. It's Happy Days, but American Graffiti, and it's a funny movie. St. Mel's Drive-In is right there. But yeah, it's a fantastic movie. But going back to Cerveza Christos. Okay, so we're gonna go back to Star Wars. But this is the thing. I always say this. And I'm not joking, dude. I'm a tweet away from becoming a millionaire. Someone else is a tweet away from losing their job. And I joke that if I get thrown out of a bar or something like that, I'm like, I'm a tweet away from becoming a millionaire. But it's like, dude, look, George Lucas made THX 20 or 1139 or whatever it was. That tanked. They did horribly. American Graffiti was a TV movie. They invested money in it. He did horribly with that. And then he made freaking Star Wars, A New Hope. And even then, people said, oh, it needed editing, it needed this, needed that, or the other thing. And it's like, look, it's like most businesses, 9 out of 10 businesses fail, right? So how do you make successful business? That's, people ask, okay,
it's a long ass question.
If you want to increase your odds, let's say this. If you want to increase your odds of making a successful business and 9 out of 10 businesses fail, how many businesses do you need to start in order to get a success?
Why are you asking me math questions?
I'm asking you. It's a simple math question. 90%.
You need to make 10.
How much did you? Exactly 10. 10. I've made 5 movies. I'm halfway there.
5 more to go.
I got 5 more to go, baby. But that one? Are you joking me? It's going to be gangbusters. It's like Avatar. It doesn't freaking matter. You make the last one. You make one that's a freaking hit. It's my whole career, my life, my family, my everything is set, baby. You know what I'm talking about? Yes.
We're also what talking you need to do is throw in a beer commercial into one of your movies. Apparently that helps.
Which, speaking of which, we need to get back to Cerveza Christos. We're gonna finish that up.
I still have it up on my tablet right now.
I got it right here. I got it right here. Okay, Jesse, pay attention here. Pay attention here. Okay. Come on. Or sorry, Uncanny. All right. Sorry. Here we go. Oh, this is the one I was telling you about.
No way.
I'm not sitting here.
Kid, I've flown from one side of the galaxy.
Isn't that nuts, dude? It's like he's going in the Death Star mainframe, and he grabs a beer. Like that's
so. Like you gotta think about this. Is one of those stormtroopers like keeping a stash, like so people don't drink his beer? Sneak over there on his way back to his bunk from his duties or whatever.
Which that would be hilarious if that was true. I will give Force Awakens some credit is that it humanized the stormtrooper, and having a stormtrooper as a character, I thought that was really interesting. It's like, okay, you got a stormtrooper as a character, and because they're always these idiot drones, you know what I mean? It's like you got Clone Wars, you got they're just these idiots.
They're cannon fodder.
Yes, exactly. They're Bantha Fudu or Bantha Poodoo, as Sebulba says in episode 1, one of the greatest movies of all time. So you have
Misa no think so.
Yeah, Misa no think so. He's like Misa no think so. He's like Bantha, you're Bantha Poodoo. I've watched a lot of the behind the scenes. I love Star Wars Episode 1. I don't care what anyone says, right? That's a whole nother topic of another day. But I think that movie is a masterpiece. Okay, I'm gonna say that it's a masterpiece. But let's keep going. Let's keep Cerveza Christos going.
Galaxy to the other. I've seen a lot of strange stuff, but I've never seen anything to make me believe there's one all-powerful force controlling everything. There's no mystical energy field controls my destiny.
Beautiful.
That might be the most shameless one, where it's like it had nothing to do with anything, and it's just a guy bringing a beer out of his robe.
He's ready to party.
Yeah, he's ready to party. Okay. All right, he's ready to party. Okay. All right, here we go. I really hope we don't get DMCA takedown, but I know how to dispute it, so it's all good. We're all good.
Come on, give me a sign here.
I haven't seen this one, by the way.
Is it going to be inside of the Tauntaun?
Oh my gosh! I hope not. Or I hope so. Now. Ben. Oh no! Are you kidding? No.
Yes.
No.
He even has a glass form. Ready to go, nice and frosty.
Are you serious? Are you serious?
I called that one.
You did call it. I didn't think that was it. I thought they were gonna reach into the snow and in order to revive him, we gotta. Chris.
Give him a beer.
All right. Yeah. Yeah, exactly. I thought he was gonna open up the snow and have a beer. You know what I mean? And give it to the Tauntaun and have him wake up. But no, the guts were beer apparently. So if you open up a Tauntaun, right, here we go.
Tell me why I can't.
No, there is no why. Nothing more will I teach you today. Clear your mind of questions.
I love the song too. It's perfect.
Cerveza Chris. I want a beer. I want a Cerveza Crystal right now. I really do. It works. That might have been the most natural one because he reached into the tree and the tree had a beer, I guess. I don't know. All right, here's one of the last ones.
Yes, I assure you, we are quite safe from your friends here.
Your friends, yes.
Your confidence is your weakness.
Your faith in your friends is yours.
Oh,
It is pointless to resist, my son.
my son. My son. There's no way. There's no way that that's real. Is that real?
Of course it's real. Didn't you hear the song?
Dude, it's like they're at the final battle, the final showdown, and the Emperor, the last thing he's gonna do is summon a beer before he does anything. He's just gonna summon it.
All right. So 2025.
Okay, going back to 2025. All right, we went on a tangent. I'm sorry.
We went deep on it.
We went very deep, which is what we do because we can do anything we want here, guys. Come on. We can do anything we want. Going back to okay, so let's go back to the best. I'm going to go real quick. I will fire off my favorite, my best of 2025. You want to go best or worst? What do you want to do? Do you have your list?
Do you want to hear my take on the K-pop movie?
Yes, let's hear that. Is it best or worst? Or where
Wait. Did we finish capping off Five Nights at Freddy's 2? Are we done with that? I know you didn't watch that one.
Well, summarize it real quick. Yeah.
All right. So, spoiler alert. If you want to watch it, I would not recommend. It's $20 to rent it on Amazon. Not worth it.
Thank you. I almost did it, but I'm like, I'd rather do something else because it's like I either had an hour and a half to do things related to this thing or watch.
Yeah, well, not worth it. It was so boring. Okay, so long story short, the first movie. So anybody who's played the video game, right? It's based off basically a jump scare horror game that's like a decade old or something. And then now there's been like the whole universe lore that's been built up as it's gone popular. But basically, Five Nights at Freddy's 1 was there was this guy who was played. It's PETA from Hunger Games, whose name I always forget. One of the least impressive actors ever.
Josh something. It's Josh something. Josh Egerton or something. I don't know. Yeah,
exactly.
Yeah, so, milquetoast as an actor. Okay.
Terrible. So he's a security guard, and he has a little sister, and then basically he works at this pizzeria that is and gets accosted by these animatronic nightmare machines. They're like taller than humans, and like they basically stuff you inside of them, except for like there's no room, so you just get smushed to death, right? So that's yeah. So
Josh Hutcherson. Sorry. Josh Hutcherson.
Yeah, terrible.
He's horrible. He's horrible, dude. And that was my whole thing with the first one. I'm like, dude, how do you make the lead character the worst character? And look, he seems like a nice guy, but like, look, what they did with the character, he just didn't. I don't know.
It's not just the character. It's every movie I've ever seen him in. But anyway. Yeah. Sure. Regardless of that, so like the thing is this, like the plot's okay. It's kind of like it's not like that good because like in the video game, right? Like it's like jump scares and you're trying to do stuff and you're like running away from it. In the movie, it's like they don't really maximize it that well. It's not that scary. He's terribly anti-charismatic, and like his sister gets in danger, but like she is she like they have no chemistry like as siblings, right? Like in a movie, like
He has
if you're
no
a character,
chemistry with anything, dude. He has no.
he does
He
well,
does.
exactly. But the
Yeah.
actress that plays his sister's also terrible. Not as terrible as him, but she's not good. And so, like, they seem like strangers. Like they just met yesterday, right? You're like, this is supposed to be your little sister, and the whole plot is you trying to save her from these murder machines. So, long story short, then like there's a serial killer who killed all these kids and traps their spirits in these murder animatronic animals, and then they all team up to defeat him, and then
Okay,
that's it.
how are the animatronics? How are the animals? How did it look real? Did it seem
So,
like they did it, or was it computer animated? Or
no, it's totally computer animated.
okay.
But the difference is so like in this movie, it's like after Five Nights at Freddy's 1, obviously, and like there becomes it's almost kind of meta. It's very strange. So like the story of what happens in the first movie gets told to everyone, and then it becomes like a cult classic kind of like fan base. So like everyone's like they're having this convention of Freddy Fazbear convention.
What?
Um,
What? Oh,
yes. And
okay.
so then so the guy died, but then his son, who we didn't know existed, um, he picks up the family business of mass murdering children with animatronic monsters.
Oh, that's
Um,
good of him. That's good of him. Yeah. The son who we didn't know existed, it now exists, and now he's taking over the family murder
it's
business. Oh,
that's
great.
literally and like there's his daughter that we did see from the first movie. Like she rejected all that, right? Because she's like, murdering children is bad. Which is sorry, unaliving children is bad.
Yeah,
But
true.
the brother does like
This is
a
Dr. Tommy. Just kidding. Sorry. Just kidding.
so
Just
so
kidding.
this
Sorry,
uh
Tom.
so this is like there's a whole part towards the end where the brother of the son of the like serial unaliver, he like tries to convince his sister to come back home, and I'm not kidding, he says that, and I'm like, I was telling my wife, I'm like, home to what? Like living in an abandoned pizza place and unaliving children? Like, what does he mean? So
Yeah, come home. Yeah. Right,
it's
right.
terrible. So then the
Dude.
movie basically ends with the kids inhabit the unalived children having inhibiting spirit their like these backup animatronic suits, and then coming and beating up the new animatronic suits that are controlled by another unalived girl who wants to seek revenge on, and I'm not kidding you, all parents, because none of the parents
All
helped
parents
her
that
not get
exist,
unalived.
all parents that exist, not just
She literally, there was this one scene, and I'm sorry, I know it's massive spoilers, but it's not worth it, trust me. There's this one scene where this little girl is like defending her mom from like this unaliving animatronic, and that's inhabited by this ghost girl. And then she's like, please don't hurt my mommy. And then the animatronic ghost girl goes, your mommy doesn't care for you. They don't, and none of them care. They only look out for themselves, and that's why all parents must be unalived.
Dude, are you kidding me? Dude, that's the thing. That's why I don't care. These big companies like Peacock, NBC, and everything, they give tens of millions of dollars to this crappy movie with a crappy character, and you crap on a really creepy animatronic thing. You had a actual legit scary movie premise in the palm of your hand, and what did you do? You squandered it, and you're trying to do.
You're trying. Who's going to be the victim?
Who's the
All
victim?
parents.
Oh, all parents in the galaxy. Oh, great. That really narrows it down. Now I really care. Like, okay, if you want to watch a movie about creepy animatronics, you need to watch Willy's Wonderland, starring Nicolas Cage as the janitor, and he says 2 words in the whole movie. It's incredible. I love it. I love it.
That's beautiful.
Yeah, that's what we're talking about. Like, because forget Five Nights at Freddy's, because they literally took that same concept. Because a creepy Chuck E. Cheese, it's not a new and original, unique concept, but it's fun. I mean, it's there. As a kid, I watched those animatronic going to Chuck E. Cheese like the 2 times I ever went to Chuck E. Cheese, and I was terrified. I was horrified by these horrible, creepy rat looking at you and staring at you and going,
Hey, want to eat my pizza?
Hey, eat my pizza, little child. I was like, this is terrifying. I don't want to watch. I don't want to be here. This is, it's terrible. Okay. So can we legit watch or put that in the worst list of 2025?
Yes.
Okay.
It is
okay,
absolutely in the and it's because it's not even like it's not good and it's not terrible. It is so boring. Like it's almost I think it's like an hour and a half to almost 2 hours. And I literally like I by the time it was over, I was like, wait, that was it? That was the whole plot? So like it's so mediocre and boring that it's terrible. Is what I'd say. Legit.
To me, that is the crime. That's the ultimate crime. Is you can entertain the audience, you can offend the audience, you can please the audience, whatever. But the worst thing you could ever do is bore the audience. And if you bore the audience and majority of the audience doesn't like it, then forget your movie, dude. You don't like it. Look, like, and I've made movies that they say they're slow burns. People either love them or hate them. But I don't think it's boring. Like I'm not trying to bore people, right? And it's that opposite thing where I let scenes breathe. I would rather let a scene breathe a little bit than to try to do super choppy, super YouTube. Hey, we're gonna do this now. We're gonna do this now. We're gonna do that now. It's like you don't. By the time it's like the Mr. Beast, the Mr. Beastification of YouTube, where Mr. Beast is a highly incredible producer and he's an entertainer and everything like that. But like, there's so many explosions and things that happen in the first 5 seconds of the video. By the time you get done with the video, you're like, oh, I was entertained, but what the hell did I just watch? I don't really remember it. I don't know what happened. I don't know who won.
It's like candy for like your brain, right? Is like it's energetic and it's like it tastes good to the eyes when you're enjoying it, but then afterwards you're like, like I didn't get much out of this.
Well, and that's the thing, dude, is like you can have a movie like this where they could say, oh, I love the teddy bear that, Freddy, I love, that was creepy, that was stuff. But then you ask them in 3 years what happened in the first 30 minutes, they can't tell you. Oh, I don't know. I forget. Like, you forget. That's what happens. It's like, dude, you eat, it's like you eat a bag of candy, and then 30 minutes later, you're hungry for real sustenance. Like, you need real sustenance. And then when you watch an actual movie that takes time, that penetrates your mind in a way that makes you think, right? Like my first movie, Rideshare, I'll always say, hey, I'm probably not going to scare you while you're watching it, but the next time you take an Uber, you're going to think of my movie. That's what it's going to be. So that's how you really infiltrate that mind. And people say, oh, actually it was really scary. Maybe it wasn't really scary when I was watching it because there's not really horrific elements or anything like that. But after that, it's going to stick with you, and I'm never like, oh, a movie about an orphan ghost that comes to life. And, it's like, I don't find that to be scary. You know what I mean? Like but the movie, The Orphan, where it's a child, but it's actually a 40-year-old woman pretending to be a child. So, sorry, spoiler alert.
I feel like that's just like the reverse of Big with Tom Hanks.
Yeah, it is. But like, that's horrifying. It's like you take the teeth out and she's actually a grown woman trying to be a child. Like, that's scary. That's really scary. Versus something, that is a ghost story where there's a esoteric ghost that's out there. And I don't find those stories to be really scary.
What about Grudge? Did you think Grudge was scary?
It was okay. I felt like there's The Ring and The Grudge, right? Like The Ring came out. The Ring scared me. I thought The Ring was really creepy, but it's so ripe for parody. I mean, Scary Movie 3 tore into it, and it's hilarious.
Absolutely.
And it's so funny. And like once you watch Scary Movie 3, then you watch The Ring again. It's like, okay, I can't take this movie seriously. But The Grudge, because I don't know, I thought The Ring was scarier than The Grudge because it's like The Grudge is a creepy kid just going like the whole time. It's like, okay, well, it's kind of creepy, but I don't really care, to be honest. I don't think that's because it's so out there. You know what I mean? It's not. I don't see this actually. I don't think a creepy Asian kid in green makeup is going to be scaring me at my house. You know, I just don't see that happening. You know,
I thought that The Ring. I like The Ring. Those kind of. It's not even really necessarily like scary. It's like for me, it's kind of just disturbing. Like the video of like death and like rot and stuff. That's just kind of like that's what's off putting to me. And like I like the kind of Scooby Doo mystery aspect of it, which wears off over time. But I don't know. No, I agree with you.
I like that too. It's like there's a hunt. She's looking for it. You know, you see the tape. You get like going back to Lilo and Stitch, where you see the objection. You see, okay, a scientist made an alien in a lab, and everyone hates it, and it's exiled. You know, it goes to Earth, and then you got Lilo, who's a problem child making a bunch of problems, and she's wishing for a best friend, and okay, this problem alien works, you know, so that works. But like when you look at The Ring, okay, you see a tape, you're gonna die in 7 days, but why are you gonna die in 7 days? And you got this warped thing, and it's an unreleased type thing where back when we had videotapes and VHS and stuff like that, where it would be more of a defined like it wouldn't just be sharing a link on YouTube and you know, and now everyone sees it and everyone dies. You know, that would be hokey, but because she got the tape, she's one of the first people to see it, and she saw the person that actually died, and oh my gosh, this is going to be happening. You know, you buy into it. There's a thing where it's the forced, what's it called? Suspension of disbelief.
Disbelief. Yep.
Yeah. So you buy into it. It's like, okay, you know, watching a videotape isn't going to kill you, hopefully, right? But they make it believable where you watch it and okay, this is a messed up tape. But again, going back to Scary Movie 3, because they made fun of it so bad, they had like the upside down chair spinning, and then they had the woman with the armpit hair, she's combing it and stuff. And you know, they say, oh, it's like a bad student film. You know, it's like, and which is true. It looked like, you know, when you watch the actual tape, it's like a bad student film that's trying to be artsy and everything.
Oh yeah.
But yeah, in a long story, long answer to your question, I think The Ring is a lot scarier than The Grudge. The Grudge, I remember it being creepy with the kid, but like, you know, making the noises with his mouth.
I think it's kind of like almost a jump scare kind of scare, because it's like they just kind of pop out of nowhere and start and then like murder you.
Right.
Sorry,
yeah.
unalive you.
Right. Yeah. Exactly. No, you're right. Yeah. So yeah. And it's not, I don't find it to be scary, dude. It's like I find movies about, you know, a family member dying more scary, right, than an orphan ghost child, or you watch a tape. You know what I mean?
Well, I think I've already shared with you one of my scariest movies for me is Smile, because of like the whole mind invest. Yeah, exactly like that. Well, your smile just looks goofy, so.
Oh, well, thank you, dude. Real quick, actually, because you said that, we talked about probably the best. I was telling you about that. Did you ever look into it? The marketing of Smile? Did you ever look into that after I talked to you about
but I remember you were telling me kind of about how they did the thing of was it the football game?
Yeah, so we're gonna do, it's a baseball game, and we're gonna do that right now because It's probably the most brilliant. It's probably the most brilliant marketing I've ever seen in my entire life. Let me find a good video here. Yeah. Oh, here it is. So they hired people. So for those that are watching the movie Smile, they hired people to go to a baseball game and smile into the camera. It sounds kind of crazy, but it's like that is so brilliant because it's a movie called Smile, and it's a creepy smile. And we are going to be watching that right now and reacting to it. Okay, you ready? You ready, Jesse? Are you watching?
Oh, I'm ready.
Okay. All right, let's do it. It's late. Oh. Okay, that wasn't it.
I really need to try
That was not it. That was not it.
This movie's marketing is genius. To chillingly
go.
advertise the new horror movie Smile 2, actors were placed in the stands of a recent
Ooh, that one's pretty
with
good.
one job. Smile
Yeah.
creepily while staring straight at the camera without breaking eye contact. You may remember that 2 years ago, Smile 1
Yeah,
used
that
the
was it,
same
Smile
exact
1.
marketing ploy of having actors staring straight at the camera and smiling. It's so clever in considering that's exactly what happens in both movies, and it's a subtle way to not only creep out unsuspecting viewers while promoting the movie. Good stuff, and I will be in the theaters this week to
Yeah, so it's like it was so brilliant. It's such a simple idea. I'm so annoyed that I'm like, why didn't I think of this?
It is really simple, but it's really good. I actually think I like Smile too, but it got a little incoherent and like kind of the rules of the universe from what it was a little bit kind of all over the place a little bit towards the end, but the first one, if they would have cut out maybe about 20 minutes because it was almost 2 hours, if they would have made it just tighten it up a bit, I think that probably would have been the scariest and one of my favorite horror movies ever.
Wow, interesting. Like Smile is one of those things where it has that gimmick and I go with it. I'm like, okay, it's a gimmick. It's a girl smiling creepily. And I didn't see Smile 2. I haven't seen it yet, but you go with it. It's almost like Scream. It's like you go with it. Okay, you go with the Scream, theory. There's two people at once, and Scream was a huge slasher thriller at the time. But like with Smile, it's such a creepy, simple concept that is brilliant. It's super brilliant. But then you have to buy into the lore. It's like, oh, people that smile. I don't even remember the.
Well, it's like and like the creepy thing for me is that you're basically helpless. Like there's functionally nothing you can do except for like the only thing like in the lore of one. I guess I don't know. Maybe I won't say it because I guess there's some people in the chat that haven't seen it, but there's basically only one way to get rid of it, and it's unconscionable, right? So yeah,
I forget what that is. I completely forget. I completely forgot what that was. I don't know. I watched it and I liked it and I was creeped out by it. But again, I'm not going to be afraid of someone smiling at me.
Well, listen, you say that unless like somebody that starts doing that when you're like having a conversation, you're not expecting it, and then you blink your eyes and they're like in a different room, not even talking to you. Once again, all I can do is just laugh at that.
Hi, Uncanny. Why don't you smile? Yeah, smile.
Why
for the
so
camera.
serious, son?
Why so serious? Let's put a smile on my face.
Also, one of the best movies.
One of the best movies of all time. Oh my gosh, yeah, and it's not even close. The best movie of that decade. That movie was 2008. Best movie of the decade, not close. Dark Knight, 100%. Best.
And it's fine. It kind of reminds me of like it almost reminds me a little bit like Logan is technically a superhero movie, but it's not. It's like the least superhero movie. Superhero movie. It's kind of like that.
It's a character piece. It's a character piece.
Yeah, it's basically. I wouldn't even. A funny thing, I liked the first Joker movie with Joaquin Phoenix, but it's not as good as the one with Heath Ledger. And Heath Ledger, I mean, that was basically his movie. Like Christian
Okay.
Bale was good in it, but like that was Heath Ledger's movie.
Okay. If we want to talk about hot takes, wow, now we're really going elsewhere. But if we want to talk about hot takes, I'm about to give you one. Joker 2 is a masterpiece, and I stand by that 100%. I watched it 2 nights ago. It's a fantastic film.
I haven't watched it, but from what I have heard it described, that sounds like the hottest take aside from The Sun.
You know what? That might be the hottest. It's a lot of people hated it, dude. People review bombed it because it's not what they expected. Because he's in prison most of the time. Okay, what do you expect? He was in prison. He can't. He gets put in prison. So they're like, "Oh, this is a prison movie." It's like, yes, he's in prison because he got caught for what he did and he admitted to it.
Wait, you say get caught. He actively did it in front of a national TV show.
Oh, exactly. Well, no. He confessed it in front of the national TV show, and he did it in the subway.
And
right?
then he offed Nero.
Exactly. Yeah. Well, yeah. Well, that. Yeah. Well, but he already murdered 3 people before that, so he was already gonna go. Yeah. Anyway, but yeah, no, I know what you mean. But yeah, exactly. So people are like, oh my God, he's in jail. It's a slow jail movie. It's like, yes, that's what his life becomes. If you go to the second one, he's in jail. And then another crazy woman played by Lady Gaga, who I thought was great. I thought she was fantastic. And it becomes a musical. And then when he's doing the court, he defends himself in court. He's like, this man right here is going to do, he starts with a Southern accent, which it's hilarious. It's so funny. And the way it's shot, dude, it's Todd Phillips taking a huge swing for the fences. And I think he hit a grand slam. But I'm in the minority because a lot of people say, oh, he swung with the fence, but he missed. It was a horrible movie. It wasn't what I thought it was. Wasn't it kind of like a musical thing? Like, it is a musical. It is a musical. Yeah. And people are like, oh, this is bullshit. This is a musical. But like, which actually that's on their marketing department for not advertising it as a musical, because it's like, if you go to a movie not knowing it's a musical, then it's a musical. Like, what the hell is this, dude? Yeah, right. It's like,
I think that was a lot of the reaction was like, what is this? Why is this a musical?
Because their marketing was not clear that it was a musical, and I'm like, what the hell? I said that. I'm like, what the hell is this? Is this a musical? And I'm like, oh yeah, it is a musical. You have to Google it. And then, I submersed myself into that world, and I watched it again 2 nights ago, or 3 nights ago before Christmas Eve. I watched it, or 6 nights ago, whatever, it doesn't matter. We're talking about math, but
it's the last. It was the last week of the year.
It was last year. It was last year. Blah blah. But it holds up. Like to me, you submerge yourself in that world, and also it has. Speaking of Harry Potter, it has Mad-Eye Moody from Harry Potter 4 when he's like,
oh really?
Yeah, he's a great actor. He's a fantastic actor, and he plays one of the prison guards. And they're like, oh yeah, they're like, oh, tell us a joke. Are you going to tell us a joke today? And that's his whole thing, where you go, you get in the prison life. Okay, everything's the same. He wakes up, tells them a joke or whatever, and he's doing this. It's a prison, right? So, but he gets in with the guards because they think he's funny because he makes jokes and all that stuff. And Joker 2 again. We're way off on a tangent, but that's fine because we can do whatever the hell we want.
When am I gonna tell you about K-pop Demon
Hunters right now? Tell us about it right now.
All right. So I doubt that anybody watching this has probably watched K-pop Demon Hunters.
Troy Lee, if you're watching it, he's watched it. My friend Troy, he loves that movie, and I had never even heard of it. And he's like, "Oh, this is a great."
I watched it because my wife watched it, and like I try not to pay attention, but like I have the ADHD brain, so anytime that there's like a lot of sounds or a lot of lights or I had anything that looks kind of anime-ish, I'm like my eyes can't help themselves. So like I will just say this. It's basically a teens movie that is about a girl pop band
A
that
K-pop
fights.
band?
Yes,
Fights demons? And do they hunt demons?
that hunts demons.
Oh wow!
Actually,
So that's what it's about. Wow! You guys heard it here first at movie
and
night.
and they basically go to war against a boy band that is demons, and that
Oh,
and then it's pretty cliche in the sense of like it turns out that one of the pop star girls is half demon because it's like an East Asian thing, right? So it's like anime thing trope, and then like she loses her friends, and but then she saves the world by realizing that she was actually great all along because she had to embrace her demon side. And then everybody, everything's great, and it turns back to normal, and she goes back to being in a pop band. So, but
well,
the
Uncanny. It's not about the journey. It's about the friends you make along the way.
something like that. But it's the thing that's more interesting to me is like so I am well versed in anime. I was raised on Dragon Ball Z and like
Wow. No
Cowboy
wonder.
Bebop and
No
stuff.
wonder why you wanted to be anonymous.
Trust me. Yes.
He's admitting this.
I
Uncanny.
am a closeted weeb, as the internet may say. So,
I've never heard of
but
that term, weeb. Okay.
really,
Weeb? Yeah. What is that? What's a weeb?
you're like 5 years too old and a little bit too innocent.
Hot. Okay, innocent. Yeah.
So, but point being is like a weeb is just somebody who's like a nerd who loves Japanese stuff and anime too much. But basically, the thing that's interesting is that this isn't Japanese. This is Korean,
Hmm.
which is new to me.
Is
And
there a difference? No, I'm sorry. I'm kidding. Joking. This is just a joke. Just a
you're
joke.
gonna ignite a World War
I
III in
love
East
just a
Asia right
joke.
there.
I love just it's this joke. Completely different cultures.
And this is
Sorry,
why
go
I want to be anonymous, my friend.
Because you.
But the interesting thing to me is that there is a subcurrent among like young millennials and Gen Z and Gen Alpha where like Korean pop music and Korean dramas, and you actually have seen this a little bit with movies, right? Like there was Parasite and like some of these kind of
Oh, yeah, I
Korean
like
horror
Parasite
movies.
a lot. I like Parasite a
Oh
lot.
yeah, but like it's weird as this Korean culture kind of like diffusion now, and it's crazy because like an animated movie like this, like a Korean movie, I would never have thought would have made such a big impact, but like like people were talking about it. Like it's kind of crazy how many views it got. Like you were saying, on it was still on Netflix, and it was already like making buku bucks.
Yeah. Yeah, so yeah, I'm looking at where it made K-pop Demon Hunters. Let me see. Let me look. K-pop. Yeah, I have to look. I have to look over here. I'm gonna see. But yeah, dude, it was still making a ton of money, and it came out Demon Hunters. How much did it make? K-pop Demon Hunters box office. I'm just gonna look at it. But yeah, dude, I think it made $500 million at least.
Which is pretty crazy for like I mean, like the animation style. I'm not a big fan of like kind of this animation style. It's like almost looks like I forgot what the term is, but it's like my brain is saying soft cell, but that's like a 1980s band, so I don't think that's correct.
No, what? Okay, wait. Now I'm looking at it and it says it only made 24 million. I don't think that's right. Is that right? K-pop Demon Hunter. It says K-pop Demon Hunters made about 24 million worldwide.
And it's just an animated movie. Like it really is not special. in like the plot. The animation isn't like
Oh.
stellar.
I'm way off, dude. I don't know what I thought it made 500 million, but I'm way off apparently. It only made 25 million total.
But I'm wondering how much it cost to make. That's the thing is like, and even that's like a
Yeah.
pretty decent for some straight to streaming like animated
True.
movie.
Yeah, you're right. But that's a lot less than I thought it was. I thought it was like a huge smash hit, but I'm wrong. 24 million dude, it's if you have a horror movie, you'll make that in 2 weeks. But I mean it's still wow, I thought it was I'm grossly mistaken, guys. Sometimes I am wrong, okay? You know, I'm not always completely correct, right, guys? Okay? I'm not always a legend when it comes to being right about everything. No, I'm just kidding. But yeah. Okay, so but it still has a popularity. It still had people talking about it, right? And
Yep.
so
That's
it's
all I have to say on it. But besides,
So-
I just thought it was trippy that it got such.
If you're over 13 years old, should you watch it? If you're an adult, should you watch it?
I'm gonna just say this if you are over the age of 20, and this is kind of throwing my wife under the bus, but if you are over the age of 20, or if you are a man, you should not watch it. Unless
if you're a man, or if you're a real man, you can't watch it. If you some type of fairy like, you watch it.
listen, if you get suckered into it because your girlfriend or wife is watching it, you don't really have much of a choice. Take one for the team; it's worth it.
Okay, there you go.
But you're
okay.
not. But you should not just sit down and be like, "It's Friday night. Time to watch K-pop Demon Hunters."
Right? Yeah. It's like okay, if you're a guy, watch it for your girl. Watch it for if you're on a date. Take one for the team. Go after it. Watch it. Okay, that's fair enough. That's fair. Because that is the thing. There are certain aspects of movies where you have to accept the fact that guys will watch certain movies only because they're on a date. They will watch movies only.
I've watched the Hilary Duff in Rome movie more times than I would like, which would have been 0.
Okay, you had to wait till I take that shot in order to say something like that because I was about to spit all that up because that's hilarious. That's hilarious. When in Rome, Hilary Duff. When in Rome.
Hell.
Well,
okay. It's the Lizzie McGuire movie. My bad. My wife just reminded me.
But what about Xenon, Girl of the 21st Century?
Which one's that one? Xenon, Girl of the 21st Century?
Are you not talking about Zoom, 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 Boom, Boom, Boom? You don't know about Zoom?
What are you saying?
Zoom, 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 Boom, Boom, Boom. She's like obsessed with this pop star in this movie. It's a Disney Channel original classic about a futuristic girl named Xenon. And she loves Protozoa. And his hit song is Zoom, Zoom, Zoom. Zoom, zoom, zoom. Make you go boom, boom, boom. Am I the only one here? Shout out to the Xenon girls.
Bro, I'm sorry. Guys. I'm going to have to take your man card. I just Googled Xenon.
She was hot. I had the biggest crush on that girl at the time. I was the same age as her. Xenon.
That's probably a good clarification to make.
Yeah, I had to say. I was 13 years old when this movie came out, and so was she.
I'm Googling this, and you're like, I think it's just I'm like, oh, bro.
She's the same age. She's 41. She's actually older than me. I'm 39. She's 41. Okay, so it's fine. It's fine to have crushes on people that are older than you. Okay, not younger.
True.
But yeah, dude, Protozoa, dude, Microbe, aka Microbe, and he was Protozoa. Anyone else in this galaxy out there with Xenon, Girl of the 21st Century, the 1999?
My wife raised her hand, so I guess you have one fellow Xenon.
Shout out to the wife of Uncanny, the Uncanny wife herself. It's a good movie. It's actually a good movie. The second one,
there's a second one of this?
There's a second one. I think there's a third one, too, with different actors. Yeah. Oh, my gosh, dude.
Hey, while we're on the subject of childhood movies, we recently, and this is not a 2025 movie, by the way, but
Okay,
we
that's fine.
recently rewatched Spy Kids and Spy Kids 2.
Okay.
And don't really hold up all that well, except for in the second Spy Kids, there is Steve Buscemi, who is a delight no matter what movie he's in.
I love Steve Buscemi.
And that's where the meme comes from, of where it shows Steve Buscemi in a lab coat and he says, "Do you think that God is also afraid of what he's created and that's why he stays in heaven?"
Oh, I thought you were gonna say like, "Hey there, fellow kids." I thought you were gonna say that.
No, that's SNL. That's also a great Steve Buscemi.
Gotcha. Okay, that's funny. That's funny too. Yeah. Xenon was Disney. It was a Disney Channel original movie, Chris. It was a Disney Channel original movie. But yeah, Steve Buscemi is great. Yeah, the Spy Kids, because I don't have kids, I never watched those movies. I'm a big fan of Robert Rodriguez, though, the director of that movie. And yeah, it's tough where I mean, it didn't look very good, to be honest. And it doesn't surprise me that it didn't age well either. Right, because when you're dealing with technology in early 2000s and kids movies, and you got what's his name, Albert Cumming or Alan Cumming as the bad guy. He's got the spiky hair. And
yep,
he's 50-50 with me again. Like he could be good at some things. He's really tacky
the real villain
things.
of that movie, by the way. And you say you didn't watch it, so it's fine. But the actor who plays Monk in the show Monk.
Yes. He's also in Men in Black. He's great in Men in Black.
And he's also in Space or Galaxy Quest with Tim Allen.
He's fantastic in Galaxy Quest. One of the greatest movies of all time. I love that movie.
I think the Galaxy Quest should be in the top 3 of 2025 movies honorarily.
Yes, it should be. Number 3 honorary. Is Galaxy
and it also
Quest
had
Tim Allen and Sigourney Weaver.
And it had the guy who I'm terrible at names. It had the guy who played Snape from Harry Potter too.
Oh,
Alan Rickman?
Gosh. Yes. Alan Rickman.
Great actor.
Fantastic
also,
actor.
It's funny because he always plays it straight. Like he's never a goofy guy, but he also can be super funny.
By Gap Dolls Hammer. You're like, oh dear, he's gonna make me say that again. But it was so funny. It was so funny because it showed that culture of fan culture.
It's the Trekkies.
Yes, the Trekkies. And we're like, say it again. Say that line. But in episode 312, when you said this, that, and the other thing, why didn't you do this, that, and the other? It's like people are like that. Trekkies are what? They really are. They are. How can you contradict yourself in episode 243, but in episode 342 you said this, that, the other thing, but that's the other thing? Isn't that because of the space the space science that happens in episode 400? It's like, dude, it's a TV show, buddy.
And it's even better too. It's even better in that movie because the main character, I'm forgetting his name. Tool Time, Tim Allen. So it's funny too, because in that movie, Tim Allen is basically just William Shatner. Because he just laps up all the attention. He loves to be in the center of the room.
Right. And he shows up hungover to everything. He shows up hungover to everything, and he's like, yeah, whatever.
Well, and it's funny.
Give me a Diet Coke, give me a beer, give me do this, do that.
And even because it's funny too, is like in the Trekkie, in the Star Trek world, they have these movies, right, where they'll invite the actor who played Spock, right, for later generations.
Oh, Leonard Nimoy. Leonard
Nimoy. And they did the same thing with William Shatner, and William Shatner managed to basically steal the thunder away from the current crew. Right? You're just everything. You can't invite Shatner to be in your movie unless you want it to be the Will Shatner movie.
You're right. Yeah, totally. And it's like, oh, he's late again. What are we gonna do? But at the same time, with a cast of characters, you can't not have the lead captain not be there. And if you don't, you could do it, but if you don't, it's like, oh well, it was great. We saw we saw, by Gap Dollar's Hammer, but we didn't see the captain.
Where's
right?
the captain?
Where's the captain? Everyone's like, where's the captain? Where's the captain? And but it shows nerd culture. But then going back to Bugonia, wow, we're going full circle because we're really good at what we do here.
Full circle.
Because they have that device and the device switches, and he's like, yeah, this is the homing device, whatever that speaks to the aliens. Bugonia is you want it to be real, and it becomes real. And like in Galaxy Quest, he really is contacted by aliens and gets abducted by space aliens and has to live a Galaxy Quest. And right, so it's just it's full circle right there, guys. Galaxy Quest, Bugonia, two good movies. They're like one of the best movies of 2025 is Galaxy Quest, you guys. Galaxy Quest. Okay, real quick, I'm going to talk about Weapons. Because Weapons came out, everyone's talking about how great it is, how that sounded like a gunshot. Did anyone else hear that? Or did the noise canceling? That sounded like a gunshot outside my house. Is Uncanny here? Uncanny? He's on mute right now. Okay. He's probably
Sorry
going to
about
pee. It's okay.
Yeah, I was taking this.
Did you hear that?
No, I didn't.
It sounded like a gunshot.
I had to double check, make sure that gunshot wasn't just me taking a piss.
It sounded like it. If your piss sounds like a gunshot, then how much did you have to drink, buddy?
I've been holding it for a while. Okay.
Okay. Well, yeah, we should also do that because I'm holding one too. Did you hear? Okay, so Chris heard it. Yeah, dude, it was right. So there's apartments right outside on the other side of the fence. So I'm not sure if it's a gunshot or it's a. But let's hope I don't get shot. And if I do, bury me inside the jewelry store.
Listen, if there's one thing I've learned from YouTube podcasters and live streamers, if you got shot, that would be great content.
Thanks so much. You want me to? Should I get shot and killed, or should I maybe get shot in the leg and I'm okay? And I get
leg and okay, because
Okay. Thank you. Okay, leg and okay.
You need to be able to stream like later in the week. So
yeah, exactly. So, by the way, guys, my New Year's resolution is I need to go live. I've got no excuse to go live. I love talking about movies. We couldn't tell we've been completely all over the place tonight, which has been amazing, and I love that because we're talking about movies, and because it's called Movie Night, baby. It's movie night. And we talk about movies, and I'm going to watch movies and talk about movies regardless. But by the way, guys, I have a special announcement about my latest and greatest movie, and actually two movies that Chris and the other Chris both know about. I will talk about that later. We also have a film festival that we're making. I'm going to talk about that later. And some really exciting things happening. But at the same time, we're going to what's called grift off of big time budget movies. And until I make multi-million-dollar movies, which we're going to do at some point, we're going to talk about the other ones. Okay, so Avatar, Fire and Ash, completely overrated. I will real quick. I talked about it before, but there is that scene where the Avatar people are doing sign language to the whales on Pandora. And they're like, oh, a spider, what do you think about him? And then the whale goes, and then they're like, oh, the whale thinks that spider is an outcast. and someone's like, oh, if spider is an outcast, I am an outcast. And then they're like, oh, if he's an outcast, I am an outcast. So they do the whole thing. It's supposed to be this like standing up for,
whales?
Standing up for whales. Yeah, but you're talking to whales to convince that a human who can breathe oxygen isn't an outcast because he's not blue. He's a human person. That's the whole point of it. It's ridiculous. Dude, it's beyond parody. I was laughing during that scene. I'm like, he's like, outcast. And they do that every single time. Outcast. And they take it so seriously. It's a movie that takes itself so freaking seriously. It's so far up its own blue ass. I'm sorry, dude. It is. It's so far.
And by the way, they ripped off the talking to whales from Dory, so maybe Pixar might sue them.
Of course they did. They ripped off everything about, they ripped off Pocahontas. They rip off
Dancing with Wolves.
James Cameron openly says, "Oh, Titanic is like, well, what if the Titanic ships, but it's Romeo and Juliet at the same time?" There we go, boom, Titanic. Like he's openly said that, and look, like he unabashedly doesn't reinvent the wheel. So it's like, okay, take a huge, horrible national occurrence, and then add in Shakespeare. And there you go. Voila. It's like, what if Taming of the Shrew happened during 9/11?
Hey, you might have an idea with that one. You never know. What is the time limit? Is it 100 years? When did the Titanic sink before James Cameron could make a movie about it?
Let's wait 100 years. We got what, 98, 80 some more years, or 75 more years. Okay, I'll be here. I'll be 115, 120. Dude,
Will we still be talking about Galaxy Quest? Where we'd be having the movie of the year. What would it be? It'd be like the year 2100, and we'll be like, movie of the year for 2100, Galaxy Quest.
Galaxy Quest again wins the award every year. It's 100 years running. It's won every single year. It says movie. What is the movie? We are talking about an all-encompassing 2025 best and worst. All right, guys. Okay, so let's go back. We haven't even gotten to the best. We haven't even gotten to the worst yet. We're going to keep going bad. Again, Zootopia 2, I haven't seen yet. Wicked for Good, I haven't seen yet. I will never see that movie because I don't believe in witchcraft and wizardry. Number 2, going back to Lilo and Stitch, Chris, take a drink. Chris Laird. That made $500 million in the U.S. And then Minecraft movie. Did you see Minecraft movie?
I didn't, but my wife did, and she told me about it. It's basically sounds like it's just. Did you like it? She said it's all right. It sounds like it's another Jack Black movie.
Yeah. Okay. So it's Jack Black in a movie, which is Anaconda, which I haven't seen yet, but I'm gonna see it Saturday probably. But Chris brings a good point. In the year 2100, The Last Jedi will still suck. You're absolutely right,
Chris.
You're absolutely right, Chris.
That's like an anti-hot take. That's like the only take.
That is the take. Anyone and everyone will agree with you. I have not met a single person that likes The Last Jedi. And if they do say that, they're a freaking liar. They're a liar. Okay, Megan 2.0. I wanted to see that movie, but I heard it's not very good.
Did you see the first one?
I saw it, and I really liked the first one. I like Megan.
It was pretty good. I kind of felt like, and maybe this like is a little bit of a segue, but like tangent, but I just felt like it was a little bit too long. I just feel like they could have. I don't know. Like I came in this to a point of
shortened the movie. Could have shortened it a little bit. Well, okay. This is actually a perfect segue because we meant to talk about this. Why are movies unnecessarily long right now? Right. So like Lilo and Stitch, all of a sudden, like the animated one is 90 minutes. The live action one is almost 2 hours. It's an hour 50 minutes. Okay. So it's 20 minutes longer. Why are movies longer? What do you think?
I think there's a couple things going on. I think on the one hand, there's a business reason, which is when you pour so much money into making a movie, you want to, you really want to make sure to like get, like, I don't know. It's kind of like movies cost more to go see. Movies cost more to make. We want to make sure people don't feel ripped off. So we're going to give them the buffet, right? Instead of like a nice, cohesive, finely tuned meal. I think the other reason is, and I'm going to say this. I am a completely armchair general. I don't make movies or write movies.
Who does?
I just think that, well, you do.
Okay, exactly.
Hey-ho,
But you're a consumer. But you're a consumer.
I am a
Uncanny.
consumer, and I
you're a
just
good
feel like
consumer.
the skill of a lot of writers that are currently employed for, studios like Disney or Amazon or Netflix are just not that good. And like that's the mark of like a really good writer and director, right? And editor is that you
Yeah.
can get
An actor and janitor.
yeah. Well, we're
Tremain
not talking about
Hayhoe.
Neil
Tremain.
Breen,
Oh,
okay?
sorry. I thought we were talking about.
I mean, he is the
I
best.
thought we were talking about me. I
so-
thought we were talking about me.
Oh,
No, yeah.
okay.
Oh, we got to talk about. We will have an episode about Neil Breen, by the way, coming up in this year at some point. We will be talking about Neil Breen, which we'll have to be prepared for it and watch his latest movie. His latest great. That's a whole nother can of worms. Sorry, I cut you off. Don't mean to cut you off.
No,
Keep
but
going.
I mean, I won't belabor the point, but for me, it's kind of like there's an old phrase where it's like the master engineer knows that his work is complete not when there's nothing left to add, but when there's nothing left to take away, right? Which is you
Ooh.
don't like you can, and that's why like I love. So I'm a huge Lord of the Rings nerd and like Tolkien nerd and fan, right?
Yeah,
There's a
that's am
reason
I.
why. Yeah, and there's a
You're
reason
a bigger
why.
one. You're a big one. Okay. All right. Go ahead.
I am, but
Yeah,
I
that's
don't
true.
necessarily know if that's a good thing. But there's a reason why there's a theatrical release of the movies, and there's also the director's cut, which is an hour longer approximately for each one, and it's because they couldn't really get away with any less than about 3 hours for each of those movies because the book is so big. But like they did, like Pierre Jackson, I personally like the extended editions, but I know that it's because there's just a bunch of extra lore scenes that you don't need to tell the story.
Yeah.
And so the average person going to see Lord of the Rings doesn't need the extra 3 hours of context. I like it, but I know they don't need it. And Peter Jackson was smart to do that. So
Yeah.
that's just one example. And obviously, Lord of the Rings is like a masterpiece trilogy, right? But I feel like there is like a lack of skill of, I don't know if it's in editing or in the writing or the directing, where it's just like, or maybe all of them, where it's like, listen, do we need a scene where, sorry, Chris, I'm bringing up Lilo and Stitch again. Do we need a scene?
Take a drink, Chris. Take a drink. Okay.
Do we need a scene where the two, was it Jemba or whatever the main bad guy? When
Yeah.
when that alien was like dragging like Stitch and Lilo, I think they cross paths with them in like a truck or something, and then it just shows him dragging the other alien who's still stunned for like 2 minutes, and it's like, do we need this terrible sad excuse of slapstick for 2 minutes?
Well, yeah. Again and again, going back to Lilo and Stitch, was what I told you is that the middle was the biggest problem with the movie. Is the middle was dragging. It's like you got Stitch causing a ruckus for 20 minutes, I think, for 20 minutes, and it's like, okay, we get the point after 2 minutes. You can cut 50. You can cut 17, 18 minutes off this scene. Like literally, like we get the point. We get it. It doesn't add to it. I ended up, something happened where I'm always looking at, with my movies, I screen it to someone. If they're fully engaged, I know they like it. They love it. If they start looking at their phone at a certain time,
You've lost them.
You lost them. And then also, I'm also, okay, at the 43-minute mark, what's happening there where she feels like she needs to look at her phone? Right. And that happened to me with the 29-minute mark, 29:03 or something like that. Not to be, vague about the time, but it was like the 29-minute mark where the first third was solid. It was great. But then once he arrived to the planet, it's like, okay, there was a funny scene. He crashes the wedding and that was funny and stuff like that. But I started looking at my phone and I was like texting you, and then I got distracted, and then there's ads on Disney Plus. So once there's an ad, I go to, go get something from the fridge, or I go to the bathroom, I come back, and then I become disengaged. And I wasn't re-engaged into that movie. So
Yeah.
most movies, even if it has an ad break, I'm like, okay, well, I gotta get back for the ad break. If I like it, I'm like, okay, I gotta get back to watch the rest of this movie, or I pause it or something.
I think that I was kind of taking a peek at the chat, and I think that there was one of the Chris's wrote a comment about more time for ad breaks, right? And I think that actually is probably also part of the issue on two fronts. Once again, the business front is like a lot of these movies, either they're directly released to streaming, or the companies know that that's where they're going, right? And so like they're building them more or less as like a cohesive experience and more like content, right? And like as a YouTuber, right, is like you want a chunk of time so that you can get them sweet YouTube ads. The other thing too
Let me ask you this question.
Yeah.
I'm sure you'll get it right. What's more important, views or watch time?
Watch time.
Watch time,
right?
1,000%. Which answers the question: why is Lilo and Stitch 2 hours when it should have been an hour and 30? Because watch time. They want Disney Plus subscribers to be on there for an hour and 50 minutes to watch this movie versus an hour and 30, because it's 20 minutes extra, because it adds the watch time. And it also answers Chris's question where he says more ad breaks, because there are more ad breaks. If it's a longer movie, it's a longer ad break, stuff like that, which is why it's interesting about making a podcast, because there's more ad breaks, baby. We've been talking about 3.5 hours, which is fantastic. And look, the dirty little secret YouTube won't tell you is that my 1 hour, 40-minute movie that I spent 3 years on is only an hour, 40 minutes. So I'm only going to get that watch time for that movie, even though it has 507,000 plus views. Thank you guys so much. Over 500,000 views, baby. Which is great. But the thing is, the same thing, this podcast, what we're doing right now, which we put zero effort in, all we're doing is talking about movies for 3.5 hours. It's the same CPM, if not more. There's more CPM. I might, and if it gets more
pays
views,
for content slop pays more than finely crafted smaller content.
Exactly, which is why
Not that this is slop. This is great. We're doing a great job, and
we're doing a great job. You're absolutely right. But exactly, objectively speaking, right? Unbiased, anonymous sources are saying we're doing a fantastic job. But that's why That's why. If you look at, I'll never forget this. I talked to one of the top YouTube guys back in the day. He's not anymore, but this is a couple of years ago. And he asked me, he goes, if you make a movie, where do you want to put it? I'm like, well, I want to put it on YouTube. And he's like, I'll never forget what he said to me. Do you know what he said to me? He said, why? Which like, it's completely deflating the balloon, right? Where I'm like, I love YouTube. YouTube's easy to, I want to say, oh, well, I love YouTube. YouTube's easy to access. Anyone in the world can find my movie. But he actually made a really good point, because 100,000 views on YouTube isn't the same as 100,000 views on Tubi TV. Isn't the same as 100,000 views on Amazon Prime. Definitely isn't the same as 10,000 rentals on Amazon Prime. It's not even close, right?
No.
So he made a good point. He said, why? He said, why? But like, to me, it's honestly to prevent piracy, because piracy is going to happen. So it's like, if I'm going to make any money, if I'm going to make a low amount of money, I'll post my movie on YouTube. Then, versus I make $0 on popcorn. Well, I'm not going to advertise the pirated movie sites, but like, you know what I mean? So rideshare, when rideshare came out infamously, the next day when it was on Amazon, or it was on Vimeo. Okay. So everyone said, oh, go to Vimeo. This is 2018 logic where people are like, okay, rent the movie on Vimeo. You'll make more money because you've got rentals and you got buys. And so I put it on Vimeo. Vimeo's platform is horrible. It's terrible. People couldn't download the app. The app was not conducive. They had to enter in all these they had to do 20 different steps, jump through all these hoops in order to just rent the movie.
Yeah.
And like, look, dude, I think I made $200 or $300 off rentals, which is actually pretty damn good if you think about it. But the next day it was someone downloaded it from Vimeo and they uploaded it. It had Saudi Arabian subtitles.
What?
I'm not joking you. The next day, within 24 hours, it had Saudi Arabian subtitles, and it was second on the biggest pirated site, which I'm not going to say, but the number one movie, speaking of The Rock, was Jumanji, starring The Rock. Number one. What was number two? Rideshare. Written and directed by yours truly, which is awesome. Oh, that's great. Oh, that's punk rock. Except I make $0 from that. I'm an indie movie. Jumanji, $200 million movie, can afford to lose some money off ticket sales when they made a shit ton of money. I did not, dude. I freaking lost that. You know what I mean? So there's the problem with people that don't respect or know I'm an independent creator where I get money from people. Like when there's a huge outlet, you got NBC Universal behind Five Nights at Freddy's 2. It doesn't matter if Five Nights at Freddy's 2 bombs. They don't even care. It doesn't matter, right? Because it's content to them. And they actually probably made their money back anyway. If they spent $50 million, they probably made it back and then some.
Well, and that's the other thing too I was thinking about. Besides like the content, and like ad stuff is like the other thing too is I think limitations are part of the reason why movies are so long, or I should say a lack of limitation. So like let's say, we were talking about Star Wars, A New Hope, right? And how Lucas went millions of dollars over budget. He only had like at the time it was a good chunk of money for a very small filmmaker, but like it wasn't like a gold mine, right? And so there's limitations. Like you can only edit films so much. You can only shoot so many times. You can only film for so long before you're past schedule. And those limitations can hurt a film, but like it also can help it not bloat. And it seems like a lot of these movies, when you have like mega content companies, which is basically what Disney is, right? Or Amazon, is they can, like you said, if they bloat all of their movies because they want to make it more content for longer viewership or something, it doesn't necessarily matter that it bombs, even if it does, right? Because it's pennies compared to their total value.
They're huge. Yeah, right. They're not in a loss regardless.
Yeah, I mean that was the joke, right? With like Star Wars is they put out ironically some of the best Star Wars media has been the smaller shows that were barely given a budget, right? But like they will just throw out a billion miniseries and they'll just like make 3-hour long J.J. Abrams mass films. And it's like, I think that part of the reason why things are so long is that there's not a limiting factor. And so like there isn't a rush to be like, I have to do this. I have to create the best product I can. And I don't get redos. This is it. And I have this amount of time and resources. And I need to focus on tightening it up and making it focused.
Well, especially when you're a young filmmaker and you're like, dude, this has to freaking work. Going back to Moby Dick and the white whale and the harpoon and the freaking tartar sauce, you got to bring that with you, dude. You got to go because this might be your only chance. This is your only chance at this, right? This is it. And with companies that are already, they're like, okay, well, we own Star Wars. We need to pump out Star Wars content. What can we do? All right, let's fill it out. and you just say, oh, well, okay. So this set, this shoot didn't work. Okay. It's okay. We can just film more, let's just throw more money at it. Let's just throw more fuel at the fire. You know what I mean? Like, that's it. But that's the thing. But when you don't have money, when you're scrappy and you're like Tremain Hayhoe from Hayhoe Studios,
When you're lean and mean.
when you're freaking doing movie reviews and you're doing product reviews and you get kicked out of a Robin Williams movie product review, even though you got paid $200 to do it. It's like, hey, that goes towards their movie. You know what I mean? It's like you're doing product research, you're giving blood, you're going on the streets on the corner as a male prostitute. I'm just kidding. No, I'm not doing that. But it's like, you got to do what you can with these movie companies where they have so much money. Dude, they've got more money than God. Dude, it doesn't matter. Netflix was considering buying Disney. Have you guys seen that article?
No, really?
Yes, Netflix was considering buying Disney, which is absolutely insane. Because when you think about Disney, Disney's the number one. There's no one closer to it. Disney's the number one. Disney would buy Netflix before Netflix would buy Disney. But they're saying, yeah, no, we're considering, because Disney's so much in the hole right now, dude. Dude, Disney is so far on their brand. They are so far trying to figure out what the heck they are when they hire all these people that are making this crappy slop content that isn't on their brand. It's like you have a family-friendly brand and then you make non-family friendly content that alienates the whole family and the friends. So it's like, and then you're asking me, oh, why are you losing money? Right? Oh, why is no one tuning in to this show? Because you're alienating everyone.
Well, and the other thing too is like, I will say this for Netflix. Netflix is puts out a lot of less than stellar content, let's say.
Yes,
right?
They put out shitty content, dude. They put out mediocre content. You could just say that, dude. They just churn out content, right?
I will say this though. They are putting out a bunch of new, it may be crap, but it's new crap. Disney has been cannibalizing themselves for years. They still put out new movies once in a while, but they are mostly focusing on doing these, back to the live action thing, is quote unquote live action of their old stuff. So like they're basically, it's like.
But why is that, dude? Why is that? Ask yourself that question. Why is Disney cannibalizing themselves? And it's
because you can't put out. You can't put out good stories from a committee that is only focused on making money.
Yes.
That is why.
Yes, I was going to say because they have no vision and no new original ideas, but
they're just a mega corporation.
Right, exactly. It's like, what do we have? What can we repurpose to try to make money? But this is the problem. I'm going to show you more of the problem. Why? Going back to Lilo and Stitch, Chris. Take a drink, Chris. Lilo and Stitch.
I'm so sorry, Chris.
How much money did Lilo and Stitch make at the U.S. box office?
How much?
$423 million.
Damn.
In the U.S. box office, not global. U.S. So it made over $1 billion in the global box office, and it's a crappy movie, guys. It's a mediocre. We won't give it crap. It's mediocre movie.
You're coming to my side here before you were giving it praises. For everyone in the audience, I have such deep love for the original that by comparison, it makes me frustrated. So,
well, the thing is, for me, I watched it. It was a little bit past my era time. So, like for you, Lilo and Stitch is probably your Aladdin to me. So it's like,
yeah,
Aladdin and Lion King. I hold those as freaking golden tropes. No one can do anything wrong with that. But Lilo and Stitch was a little bit past my time because it was
the tail
2002.
end of the
I was
Disney
15.
Renaissance.
I was 15. You know what I mean? I'm too cool for school at that time, so I didn't actually see it. I didn't see it till I was probably in my 20s. But you know, but it's a good movie. I mean, you know, especially with animation, you know, they're gonna take it seriously. They're gonna really work the script out and make it good. And it was you're right. It was the tail end of the Renaissance of Disney completely. It was literally the tail end, like 2002.
Oh yeah,
Oh,
started with
03.
like Aladdin, and then it worked its way through like Hercules and Tarzan, and basically ended with Lilo and Stitch. I think that was one of the last ones of that kind of period.
Yeah, I was just about to say about hand drawn animated characters. Yeah, it was Lilo. You're right. You're right.
And Danny DeVito is a goat man in Hercules.
That's right. Yeah. See, so like Hercules, even Tarzan, but Tarzan, I've never seen Tarzan. I got to admit that. But
Really?
I've heard the soundtrack. I've heard the Phil Collins soundtrack, and it's amazing. I love You'll Be in My Heart.
Beautiful. You know it's starting to get late when Tremain starts singing.
When I'm saying Phil Collins. Okay, we haven't even gotten to the worst list. Okay, guys. So I already talked. Mission Impossible: Final Reckoning was one of the worst movies of all time in 2025. Sinners, completely overblown. Wicked for Good, never saw it, but it's probably crappy. Jurassic World Rebirth. It was a better than most. It was a better than most. It was better than I expected movie. I mean, I'll say that. What's her name?
Scarlett Johansson.
Scarlett Johansson. Yeah, she's cute. She is who she is in it. She's okay. She's better at it than I thought. There's like a nerdy guy who's a really completely throwaway generic nerd character that has no personality or looks that no one cares about. But other than that, he was a great guy. But you know, it was an okay movie. Rahalasha Ali, what's his name? The other guy that's in that movie.
Can I interrupt for a second?
Yes, please.
I just have to say, Emperor's New Groove is one of my top favorite movies. So I'm sorry it didn't come up, but it is. I love that movie. And what's his name? David Spade.
Sorry it didn't come up as the best movie of 2025?
I'm sorry it didn't come up when we were talking about the Disney Renaissance, but I watch that movie every year, and the John Goodman David Spade duo is I would say about as good as the Chris Farley David Spade duo from classic SNL.
From Tommy Boy.
They did really good in that movie. That was like peak. So anyway, sorry.
Uncanny. Can I tell a confession?
Yes.
I've never seen Emperor's New Groove.
What is your problem? Hey, we're gonna watch it, okay?
Yeah, we will watch it.
It is so funny and it holds up perfect.
Good. Okay, I'm glad. Well, I'll watch it with you because the thing is, what I realized, dude, is I love movies. I live by myself, okay, and watching a movie by yourself is a different experience than watching it with a friend, with a family member, with an audience. And I watch it with a friend or a family. We get to experience it together. We laugh, we cry, you know, and if I'm watching, I can still watch a movie by myself, and I love to do that. I have my own
Emperor's New Groove. It's a movie you want to watch with me because we're gonna laugh. You'll have somebody to laugh with, and that was before. So like nowadays, like kind of semi-irreverent, sarcastic, like fourth wall breaking humor is like it's overplayed and it's really lazy most of the time. That movie was one of the earlier ones where they did that, but it's really good because David Spade and John Goodman are really funny. So you'll love it. We'll laugh.
Okay.
We'll drink before.
Yes. Yeah.
It'll
during
be great.
And after. Before, during.
So we got. So is the lineup going to be?
Oh yeah.
The Exorcist.
Which we haven't even told this audience, dude. By the way, guys, I have not
movie.
seen The Exorcist. Okay. I haven't. And a lot
Great
of people
movie.
say, okay. So by the way, I'm gonna create. I haven't done this yet, but I'm going to create this on my Patreon because who knows? Someone might be crazy enough to do this. I am going to sell a item, which is for a humble amount of $10,000. I, Tremain Hayhoe, will watch Forrest Gump.
You've never seen Forrest Gump? What are you talking about, man? That's classic.
Welcome to everybody who said, "Oh, but yeah, you haven't seen it." Oh, Jenny, oh, life was like a box of chocolates, Jenny. Oh no!
Listen.
This is so stupid. It's a stupid freaking movie. I've seen clips of it, and I will only watch it if I get paid $10,000. Not a penny less. If it's $9,999.99, I will not watch it. I promise you that. I will not.
I'll buy us a pizza, and that's the most I'll pay. But
hell no. You can't bribe me with a pizza.
It's the classic telling
if you got a pizza at $10,000, then I'm in. But if you don't, then I'm out.
If it makes you feel better, Jenny's life goes down the drain.
I know. She gets AIDS. She gets AIDS and dies, and she never liked Forrest Gump.
She didn't. Unfortunately for Forrest.
It's like, stupid A's are stupid dumb. Great.
But,
Oh, great. Yeah, I'm going to watch the stupid fucking movie. I'm sorry for saying the F word.
It's endearing, though. I don't know.
No, it's not endearing. It's an overrated, crappy movie.
How do you know if it's endearing? You haven't watched it.
I've seen clips.
I've seen clips.
And not only that, I'll one-up you on that. It was directed by Robert Zemeckis, one of my favorite directors of all time, who also made Polar Express, which I've never seen, and I never will see that stupid either? I will never see Polar Express with the
Why do you hate Tom Hanks so much?
It's a stupid, creepy movie about...
It's not stupid. It's heartwarming. I watch it every Christmas.
Heartwarming my ass. You can heartwarm my ass with a heating pad, but that doesn't mean that it's a good movie. It's not a good movie. Forrest Gump sucks ass. He's got a high and tight haircut.
I have to love Polar Express because it's uncanny.
Life is not like a box of chocolates because you do know if you've ever had a box of chocolates once, you do know that you look under the package and they will tell you what type of chocolates you have to eat. And it's not like life is not like a box of chocolates because you can't read what the hell you're going to get. Oh, you don't know what you're going to get. Shut up, you idiot. You look at the bottom of a See's candy package and you see what type of chocolate you're going to get. And I always get the chocolate and caramel one, and I know exactly what that is. It's the front right 3/4 of the way one, and I know exactly what type of chocolate I'm going to eat because I'm not Forrest Gump and I'm not an idiot.
Hey, you need to just run to get yourself another beer and calm down.
I know. Well, I'm doing the Stephen A. Smith where he's like, LeBron James is not the greatest. Okay, I'm doing a little Stephen A. Smith. I'm sorry, guys. So just know I'm doing it for content. All right, I'm doing it for content.
It's all it's good content. You and me yelling at each other is great content.
Oh, it's great. It's fantastic content. We've still have 4 viewers, which is pretty solid. And honestly, like, we're probably going to get 100 short clips that's going to boost the channel big time. So, yes,
there we go.
And I am an expert on a film never seen, which I never will unless you pay me $10,000, baby, and that will go towards my next movie. And I will watch it. And if I do like it, I will like it. I will honestly like it, but I will probably hate on it because I know this movie sucks ass and it's an overrated piece of garbage. Just like One Battle After Another. Screw that movie. That movie sucks. Just like Mission Impossible.
I'm telling you, Forrest Gump is far better. I haven't even seen that movie, but Forrest Gump is a better movie than that movie.
Well, I don't doubt that because that movie sucks horrible ass. One Battle After Another. But you'd have to watch One Battle After Another, honestly, and sit through it because Forrest Gump. Oh, Jenny. Oh no, Jenny. Okay, all right, sorry. We gotta.
You know that everyone from Alabama is gonna hate you now, right?
Well, dude, Alabama. I love Alabama, but it's stupid Forrest Gump, and he puts on his dumb accent, and he's not a good actor in this movie. And you never go full retard like in Tropic Thunder, and that's what he did, dude. And I'm offended by that because he goes full retard, and which makes the movie terrible. And I might have just got demonetized, but anyway, who cares? It's all good. Hey,
No, it's okay. It's like Beetlejuice. You have to say it 3 times before it gets your demonetization.
right?
Gets
Yeah,
summoned.
Beetlejuice. Which, by the way, I
Hey,
like. Did you like Beetlejuice? Beetlejuice? That didn't come out in 2025.
Did you see Beetlejuice 2?
That's what I just asked you. Did you watch Beetlejuice?
I did, and it was one of the most disappointing experiences I've ever had in my life.
Oh, I liked it.
It was
a lot.
absolute garbage, and
It was one of my most treasured. It was one of my most treasured films I've ever seen.
You want to? Oh, and I can use
No
reason
notes.
and logic as to why.
Okay, please do. I can use reason and logic why.
All right. There was like 4 different plot lines, multiple of which led nowhere. There was multiple different villains, that one of which was not expanded on almost at all until the end, and the other one was expanded on and then led nowhere until one scene in the end. There's the fact that they made Beetlejuice like be madly, obsessively in love with Lydia, when it was pretty clear in the first one that he was just using her to come back to life for, like, I don't know, as a trophy for his victory. In the second movie, he's like obsessed with Lydia, and like Winona Ryder, it's just she did okay, but like it's kind of the same thing of like, listen, like this just you're not going on the death experience adventures anymore. Okay, you're like 70 or something. It just like there was like the musical number at the end that was terrible and lame.
Okay, but what about the tiny head guys? They're kind of funny, right? They got the tiny heads and.
Yeah, I mean it's all right. It's like a callback to the first one. I don't have anything really against it. It was mostly like because in the first one it was mostly like a joke, right? It's like,
but you got to understand there was a PDF file that
I know they had to.
Yeah.
What's his name with the mustache?
He still had a freaking role in this one, which was weird that they should have canceled him openly, but then they didn't. They actually gave him a decent little role, and they had a whole claymation and